welcome. Come on in. Oh, I don't have any background music. What is this, my first time streaming? Good golly. We'll get that playing. The same old playlist I always have. The only one I have. Thank you. Thank you, Mapafu. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for being here. Howdy. Hi. Welcome. In case you're somehow out of the loop, what we're doing today is I recently got 30,000 subscribers on YouTube. Oh my gosh. Holy guacamole. And so we're celebrating. And I had a call to action for a Q&A. So you all left your Q's, and now here are my A's. But I thought it'd be fun to stream it so that it could become a conversation, so it's not just me talking to a microphone for, you know, some odd amount of time. And we can extrapolate on questions and have a cool groovy time as we move forward. So yay! Yippee! Wahoo! I'm glad you're all excited. I have prepared a PowerPoint with the questions ready to rock and roll. So let's just get started. There's more questions than I thought, but there's less than I expected, if you know what that means, you know? There's a decent amount. So we're lock in, get a snack. This might end up being a longer stream. I don't know. I've got nothing else planned for the day, so you're stuck with me for at least as long as it takes for me to get hungry enough for dinner. I'm happy I suddenly remembered this and got my question at the literal last second. Yeah, I had 2 people down to the wire today leave a question this morning that I had to add to the PowerPoint. Didn't know what to ask? Well, that's alright, Cupcake Demon. You got plenty of time in the stream. The stream really opens us up to extra questions, you know, really. But let's just jump straight into it with the first question. The first up, we've got the Patreon questions. Patrons got to ask questions, and Andrew here. Because I'm sure all fan art and fan work is your favorite, what is the most unexpected fan art and work you have received? And they're so right. I love all fan art. And honestly, it was a tough question because I don't know if Excalibur left a question, honestly. I don't recall, unless Excalibur goes by something else on YouTube. So no Bionicle questions. But this was a really tough question because, quite frankly, I don't expect any fan art ever. Every time it's, you know, at Twiins I drew something, it's unexpected to me, so it was really tough. It's really tough, but I do have an answer, and because it's a PowerPoint, I'm a little bit prepared. For ones that kind of need a visual, I do have a visual. For example, these are my answers for most unexpected fan arts. This is from Messiah, our very own beloved Messiah, Messiah Complex. Made this photoshopped this edit of me as Charlie. Yeah, from Smiling Friends. This made me laugh so hard I immediately sent it to Critter and Allison. I love this. If you pay attention, he even added pockets to the dress, because Charlie stands with his hands in his pockets all the time. And then this one from Red Onana. You probably don't even recognize this. So over here, this is Red Onana's character, the one in green, and I designed this character. I had a gaggle of fantasy characters, just inspired by the artist for, like, Nair and Drakengard. I love their work. I currently cannot remember their name, but I drew a bunch of fantasy characters, kind of inspired by their work, sort of as just for fun, you know, learning thing. And then I got fan art of one of them. And I was like, what the heck? You drew that? That's great. So yeah, these are I think are the most unexpected. Both prompted me to go, what the heck, when I first saw them in very different ways. Twiins is clearly Alan, but go off, Messiah. I could be a cool fusion of Charlie and Alan, making everyone's favorite character somehow. Thank you. It is a pretty dang adorable character. I'll put it super bluntly, I'm great at this. Cereza did a did a better job of art as Alan. I loved both of them. They both made me laugh so much. The Charlie one was just less expected, but 10 out of 10 all around. If you saw the schedule that I put out at the beginning of the week, I was like, I've gotta have Cereza's Cereza's picture of me as Alan getting crucified as my fan art shout out. Hey guys, it's me, Charlie. Whoa, is that me cosplaying as Twiins Inc? Unfortunately, I cannot do his voice. That's such a unique, and that's just his voice, isn't it? Like, he's not doing a voice. That's the one of the creators, and bananas, absolutely bananas. That's his voice. It's so unique. And the art does have good character designs. I adore that artist. They're really up there. They're up there with Shiro, for me, in terms of, like art inspiration. So, yeah, 10 out of 10. So, yeah, great fan art. You can, I don't think Messiah posted this anywhere, but you can find, Red Onanas if you, I think they're still on Twitter. So, take a gander, and give them a like, because it's got my character in it. Next up, from Hut Mutt Butt, I'm glad you were here. I was worried that the patrons would get in too early, and then, like, I would miss their hello, welcome, come on in. And yeah, I was worried. I'm like, the patrons are coming first, and so what if they miss it? Because they're always coming in late to stream. I'll port it to Blue Sky. You should. Port it. But Hud Mudbutt asks, congratulations, Twiins. You deserve it. I stole this question, but I liked it enough to use it. What is something you've done, /felt, /seen, / etc. that you wish you could experience again for the first time? And I do have a good answer for this, and none of you can even guess what it's gonna be. Okay, when I was in college, I saw a play version of To Kill a Mockingbird, and it was so good. I already like To Kill a Mockingbird, because like 90% of people on planet Earth, I have a crush on Atticus. That's the dad from To Kill a Mockingbird. So, and in college, I believe I had to see a play. I think it was mandatory for like a theater class I was doing. And I took Critter along with me, because she also likes To Kill a Mockingbird, and we watched To Kill a Mockingbird. And specifically, the answer to this question, I found myself for the first time ever wishing that I was watching a video so I could go back and rewatch something. And it's the climax of the play / movie, which is when, Scout gets attacked by the racist neighbor in the woods, when she's dressed up as a ham for the Halloween play that the kids are doing, and she gets attacked by the racist neighbor, and Boo Radley comes in and saves her. Spoilers, I guess, for To Kill a Mockingbird. And yeah, Boo saves her, and then Atticus shows up, and the actor did such a good job. That was the thing that I was so taken with, was the actor doing this show. He like yells, he's yelling at the racist who runs off, because Boo like beat the shit out of him. And you could just really feel that, like, that anger, fear feeling that you get when you're scared, and so you get wound up, And I wanted to rewatch this fella yell at this racist neighbor, because he's, in the show worried about his daughter. I wanted to be able to rewatch that over and over and over. It was so well done. I still think about it. And so, yeah, if I could see it all over again, it'd be that. So, what do you mean I pictured Atticus as a sexy dilf? Look at him! He's played by... Oh, I forget his name. But yeah, watch the movie. I didn't read the book. I watched the movie. And Atticus, he's... Gregory Peck. Gregory Peck does such a good job for Atticus in the movie. And this fella, who I don't know who he was just some student at the school, also did a great job. Atticus is a tough role. And, absolutely... super impressed. So yeah, that's absolutely, if I could experience anything again, which I think that says a lot to my life. What sort of things does Twiins participate in? watching a play of To Kill a Mockingbird 1,000,000 years ago. I know nothing about To Kill a Mockingbird. It's great. It's really 10 out of 10. So yeah. Absolutely. By the way, you missed the, I'll show you really quick. The most unexpected fan art was Messiah editing me as Charlie, and this one from Redo Nana. And I think I've read their name different every single time. But yeah, figured I'd keep you in on the loops. But don't expect me to go back every single time someone jumps on into stream. So yeah, 10 out of 10. You should all watch To Kill a Mockingbird. I'm just quiet. That's all right. Thank you a million, both of you, for your questions. I think there's one more patron. Yep, it's Messiah. Everyone's favorite person with a complex. Messiah asks, if you could start over without all the show who shall not be named, it's Ruby content, would you? And do you think you would be as successful as you are now? Congratulations, 30K is well earned and well deserved. Keep your head up and we're all cheering you on to 50K. What a sweetie pie. A total sweetie. Oh yeah, nobody likes to set a Watchmen. In my head, it's not even canon, and I think most people consider it that way. This is a good question. So, no. I don't think I would start over without all the Ruby stuff. If anything, just because it allowed me to learn so much. I learned so much in how to make videos, how I like to approach videos, and how to behave as a video creator. So the knowledge, that I gained through that, I think is valuable. Do I think I would be as successful now? I don't know, because it feels like I started over anyway. A bit like a phoenix, as it were. I made Ruby content. And then I stopped making Ruby content, and my channel really suffered. Clearly, a lot of people only subscribed to me for Ruby, and that's okay, If I subscribe to somebody because I really love their, gaming content, they're like a Let's Player or something, and then they start making, if they start a podcast, I'm not gonna click on the podcast. I like the one thing they do. And so I understand why I saw a huge dip. And it feels like I've basically had to start over from scratch in a way. And obviously that's hyperbolic. My views have never gotten back to 0. There was a time where I was the only person watching, it was us. It was me, Critter, and Allison watching our videos to try to give it numbers, and I never fell all the way back to that, but I do already feel like I've had to regrow anyway, and it's hard completely rebranding yourself. No, I wouldn't give it up. I just wish that people would move on from it like how I have. I still get views and comments on my Ruby content. Wow, a 3 watch stream streak. Way to go, you Boblets. You're a new name too, and so that's fun to see. But yeah, I don't regret making videos about Ruby. I cared so much, But I just wish that people would stop watching them. The show is dead. I'm not making more content on it, and I don't know. It's just I don't know. Just pay attention to this new, better stuff I'm doing anyway. But it's a great question, because despite it being the show that shall not be named, there's no denying my past in the Ruby community. I just don't want to always be, oh, Twiins, didn't she make videos about Ruby? And I also don't want to be Twiins, I thought this was Critter's second channel! That's annoying. I wish people would fucking stop doing that. But yeah, I don't interact with it anymore, and so I wish people would just recognize that and see me and my channel for what it is now, not what it used to be 5 years ago, I found you and your sister because of Ruby, but stayed for both of your content outside of that. Thank goodness, because Ruby content is the same thing every time. I think I'm the rare few that got your Pokemon vids recommended first, then watched your Ruby vids anyway, because it meant more twins. Hell yeah, Dill Pickle the real fan. You're all fakers. The Andy. Oh, you're broken. I don't want to play with you anymore. I mean, it's just, especially now, I respect the people who do still try to make Ruby videos, but it's like, the show is dead. Yeah, oh, they said they were making Volume 10 like 3 years ago. And it's like, it's currently just dead in the water. There's nothing to say about it that isn't treading old ground. Not to mention, it's been talked to death, over and over and over. It's a boring subject anyway. So I hope everyone else sees better success transitioning out of Ruby than I did. Because I felt like I went through fire and flames and then had to claw my way back up to the surface. And I don't even know how that happened. But it is what it is. I've never been great at being a content creator. I make things. I'm not good at presenting myself, like promoting myself. Every bit of Ruby content is stuff we said in the living room in our old apartment like half a decade ago. Exactly, that's the thing. You don't get to pick your hyperfixations. And I'm just not hyperfixated anymore. It's only been 3 years. Thought it died longer. See, I don't even know anymore. I was introduced by Ruby stuff, but I stayed for your design takes. People do seem to really like my design takes, and that's good, because I like talking about character designs. So I definitely want to keep doing more of that. So I've got more art-leaning content planned, and I'm working on. But as always, all my shit takes a million years to do. So... Yeah, it is the deadest horse. I think it's because everyone thinks they have a new way of, I've cracked the code, but they just end up saying the same thing over and over with different words. And listen, I'm absolutely guilty of doing that. I do that in the same video. Half the time my videos are as long as they are because I just repeat myself, but with different words. Yeah, I went through the Ruby Dante's Inferno. Drawn out content was what made me stay back in the day. That's fascinating. Drawn outs did not do very well. That's why I stopped doing them, because they took a while to do, took time away from my other art content, like my comics, and then they weren't even doing all that well. So that's wowee. That's impressive. You think Has-Been's reaching that point soon? I don't watch that cartoon, so I can't know, but I think Critter mentioned that they just finished their second season, and it was only like 8 episodes. So yeah, with how slowly new content comes out for that show, I'm not surprised that discussion is kind of ending up dead in the water when you have nothing new to talk about. I was the only one that liked them, I guess. A part of me thinks I could do drawn out type content again, but I don't know. I already do so much. I gotta narrow my focus a little bit. I can't. You can do whatever the fuck you want when you have like 1 million subscribers, not 30,000, you know? And this one is not really a question, but the next, it's from Coral Palette, who made cool fan art for us. Yay! Look, there's you guys in the corner. Look, that's what you guys look like. Yay, Coral Palette with cool fan art. They say here, this was on Blue Sky. For the Q&A, I was gonna blow my question asking if you were a furry, but I think a piece of art would have been better to commemorate 30K on YouTube. Congrats, twins. Thank you, Coral Palette. For the record, I'm not a furry. So many people think I am, though, and I don't understand what makes me give that impression. I do think it'd be fun to wear a mascot costume, though. Not a furry. Part of me wishes I was really good at drawing furry kink art so then I could be a millionaire, but I'm just not. 2 whole seasons and only 8 episodes each. That's so absurd. That is crazy. That is bananas. But yeah, way to go, Coral Palette. Coral Palette really wants the fan art award for the year again, it seems. And I respect the grind, you know? Hate how TV shows nowadays are wait 3 years for 8 episodes, but they split it in half so you have to wait even longer. I mean, animation takes a long time. Yeah, I understand that. So I get that it's a time-consuming process, but I don't know, it is also still pretty unsatisfying, isn't it? One piece each and we can collectively be a millionaire. Yeah. But thanks a million, Coral Palette. Go check them out on Blue Sky. That's where they post all their art. So go give them likes and such, because they deserve it. The next question, I think this one wasn't even on the YouTube. Like, I was like, leave your questions on this video. And someone left a question on a post, like a totally different area. And it may have been this one, I can't remember anymore. But now we're getting to the YouTube questions. Starting off with, what's your favorite flower? Also, congratulations. By the way, if anyone spells congratulations wrong, I'm not going to notice. Congratulations is one of those words where, as long as there's C-O-N and then O-N-S, like, at the front and back, you could mix up every other letter, and I'd be like, yeah, that's probably congratulations. I'm not a furry, but I want to make a Big Bird costume because fuck yeah, that would be really cool. That would be awesome. And also the children would love that. Fun fact, you know how they do Big Bird? It's actually, Big Bird is humongous because, his head, so the way you do Big Bird, the puppeteer has their arm up, puppeteering his beak. So you have to have your arm above your head to be Big Bird's, like, face and stuff. And your face is really in Big Bird's chest. That's how you do Big Bird. Just a little bonus factoid. That's why also, if you pay attention, Big Bird usually only has one arm participating in things. Most puppets do, because one hand has to do the mouth. But yeah, it does sound so uncomfy. The way how it is, you're like, 2 of your fingers work his eyes, and then you're like using your thumb for his beak. Puppeteering is hard. So, as I figured out how the other hand moves, I was obsessed. I know, right? Puppets are cool. Oh, I guess I should actually answer Gris Dahlia, by the way. Thank you, Gris. I appreciate you. My favorite flower are roses, because I like when they die. I collect, dead flowers. I like when they die. I think they're pretty. And demonstrably, roses are the best ones to keep when dead. Everything else powderizes. Other flowers, like, fall apart, their petals lose. Nope, I don't press them. I hang them upside down. And leave them around the apartment. And roses not only keep their structure efficiently, but also they still look pretty. Because that's the thing. I like dead flowers, but roses are like, it's a rose, but it's dead now. Other flowers, like, really shrivel up, and they lose all their luster. But, so yeah, roses are they're pretty when they're alive, and they're pretty when they're dead. So, they're just the perfect flower. So that's my favorite. I like roses. I like all the colors. The ones with, like, ombre colors are pretty dang cool, you know? If you get a two-toned color, two-toned flower, that's always fun. Twins, have you considered you might be anime villain coded? Yes. And that's okay, because I usually have crushes on the anime villains. Doug, Bayleaf, and the gaggle of buddies you've been catching are sweating profusely. They're just so pretty. Next time you get roses, let them die. And then you'll be like, wow, that is pretty. Great question. 10 out of 10 question. There's only good questions. I'm glad that there were no questions that I had to, like, ignore, you know? Dandelions are fun. I'm bad at blowing at them to get your full wish, but I do it consistently. Always trying. Jin Seryu, a name I probably pronounced wrong. If you could have one superpower, what would it be and why? Super strength or super speed? If I had to pick between those two, I would choose super speed, because then I could get places. Howdy, welcome, come on in. Yeah, I would choose super speed so then I could get to places efficiently. Like, I wouldn't have to waste money on, like, an Uber or something. But if I could have any superpower, I would steal Allison's answer, because it's the best answer I've ever heard. And it's the power to get a full 8 hours of rest without using any real time. Like, in 1 second, I get to, like, time pauses when I go to bed. So then I also have all of the night to get things done, but I'm still well rested and stuff. It's the perfect answer. I want that superpower. This is why you're too powerful and we can't let you leave the basement, Allison. I've seen dead roses and can confirm they do weirdly stay pretty. See? They're just pretty flowers. That would be a great power. Yeah, she's the ideas man, and then I steal them and I put them into my videos. Half of my scripts I stole from Allison's words. We talk so much and then she has a great point and it's like, that is a good point. I'll say it like it was my point. Next up, we've got Salty Recluse 0701, whose profile picture is salt, so I'm glad that they're on theme. What got you into Project Sekai? This is the first of, I got a lot of Project Sekai questions, which I didn't expect for some reason. Those videos do really well, but I'm under the impression that nobody subscribes to watch me for them. Let people just wait until that mysterious, gender-neutrally voiced person says their bad opinions about Shiho. Great point, thanks, it wasn't mine, yeah. But yeah, it seems I have more people subscribed for Project Sekai content than I thought, which is great. But yeah, this is a hard one because I don't really remember. I've been contemplating this since 6 days ago, when they left their question. And I remember, I think it was Gura in Hololive. Somebody was sponsored to play the game, but it was still, like, on the JP server. Like, I became aware of it when it was, it started, but it was Japan only. And so I looked at the characters, and I thought that the different units were interesting, but I couldn't play it, and so I kind of let it pass from my mind. And then I think somebody else, like another VTuber who I watch, was sponsored to play it for the English release. And I went, oh cool, it's that Vocaloid game. I remember that. I want to play. And I did. I've been playing Project Sekai since like day 2 of the EN server being up. I've been here the whole time. The longest break I've taken from it was like maybe 4 months or so. It was after the last year's anniversary event, not this most recent one, but last year's. When the World Links began, I was just so fatigued. I had really outplayed myself for the anniversary, because there's a lot of, like, got a lot of cards, you need a bunch of experience points, a lot of fun songs, and so I played a lot, and I tuckered myself out. And the World Links were so, like, I don't like them. And so that was the longest break I've taken, but I still kept up with the game. Like, I was still checking in on the events, the new events on the JP server every week, and keeping up with songs. So, it was the longest break I've taken, but I've been here the whole time. So, yeah, basically what got me into Project Sekai? VTubers who were sponsored to show it off. To make me go, oh, yeah, Vocaloid game, I want to play that. Because I was really I've been pretty disappointed with Project Diva for a while now. I think their song list is repetitive and boring, and I don't understand why people are so annoyed. Oh, why don't we get more Project Diva games? Well, what, so you want to play the same 27 songs for the 5th time? Like, that's boring. They never give us new songs for Project Diva, and they stopped giving us interesting MVs. Every damn new song that they would have a 2D music video. Like, they would just play the original music video. And I'm like, I'm here for Miku in costumes! I think a very similar story has played out with the English release of Uma Musume. Perhaps. Yes. Hang on. Water. This is a story all about how day 2, fake fan. You interrupted me singing. This is a story all about how Twiins got into Uma Musume. I learned about my favorite VTuber. It's a guy called Tenkai Tsukasa. He's Japanese, and he really likes Uma Musume. And so I was watching all his content. I don't know Japanese, and it's not subtitled, but you learn, you understand a lot more than you might think watching someone speak a different language. And he was playing Uma Musume, and I didn't care about the story parts that he would, you know, read aloud and everything and react to, but I was really taken with the good running animations. The races were fun to look at, not because I was like, go horse, go horse. Half the time I didn't know who he was even playing as. But I just thought that the animation of the girls running was really nice. I was like, this is fun to look at. These are really good running animations. And that's what got me into Uma Musume. So here's the flamin' hot tip. Play your niche little game. Niche. It's so funny to call Uma Musume niche now. It absolutely blew the fuck up over here in the West too, and that's really exciting. But for the time, nobody knew what this weird horse anime thing was. It was pretty niche. So play your niche little game, and somebody will become a fan for it through you. So that's life advice with Twiins Inc. Bonus fact, Mapafu, you've got the lyrics for Uma Pyoi, or however the heck you say it, and I say it like that because I play Uma Musume without sound. I've never had the sound on. I don't need to hear the girls talk. I don't care. And I skip all the idol performances, because I don't care. I want to watch them run. And so I don't know any of the songs. I don't know anyone's voices. I don't know how anything in the game sounds. And I'm playing it on my iPad anyway. So it's like if I'm playing Uma Musume, which I haven't done in a while, I would play that while listening to a video at my desk. Forced to run, never allowed to speak. I was so surprised when your horse game that you've been talking about for like 2 years became everyone's favorite thing. Me too! I really thought it was only me that was gonna be like, yeah, horse game. I didn't think everyone and their dog would start streaming it. It made me feel a fool for downloading it on my iPad instead of on my PC, but it probably would have run bad on my computer anyway. Which one is your horse daughter, by the way? I really wanted, I forget her name, Amazon? Was that her name? I really wanted her. She's got one of the very few darker skinned horse girls. She's got this pretty, like, kind of sailor outfit. I really wanted her really bad, and then I did a bunch of polls, and not only did I not get her, I didn't get any, like, 4 stars? Any high-level horse, like, new horse girls. And I was like, this is bogus. And so I stopped playing. I might pick it up again, though. At some point. I started playing Infinity Nikki again after, like, 5 months, so it's just a matter of time. It's definitely not niche, but you got me into Pokemon. Yay! Weird horse anime. Me. Thinks of that romance game, I think, where the love interest is a horse with a dude's face. Oh yeah, that cursed one. I remember that. I try my best to forget it. I thought it was gonna be like a Hatoful boyfriend niche thing. Yeah, I should play Hatoful boyfriend, I think. I think I know enough about it to kind of go in with a level of understanding first, but not enough that I could still go, what the fuck, when weird things happen. But I don't know. My Umas are split into my kids and stay gold, lamau. The first time I saw Uma Musume was through an AMV at the time, and it was before it blew up, and I played it, and it reminded me of my horse girl phase I had when I was younger. I think I wanted to be a horse girl so bad. I really did. I wanted to ride horses. I liked Link the most because he had a horse, and I liked Epona, and I wanted to be a horse girl so bad. The problem is too poor for horse. Too poor for horse, not good at drawing horse. So a fake horse girl I am. I can just hold on to the fact that I like unicorns. I hold Rice Shower and be like, my daughter, spelled like that. I hold Chevelle Grand and be like, my daughter. I don't know who that second one is. I wanted to be a horse girl, but couldn't understand you need to pay to do these things. Welcome, Sad Tippy. We're talking about weirdly Uma Musume on the Project Sekai question. They had a similar, like, pathing of my answer on how I got into them. Which the short answer is, through VTubers. Just get those wooden horses, easy strat. Very cute Sailor Captain themed one, who's on the newer side on JP servers. I see. But yeah, let's keep moseying forward. Meant to say pay and land for horse. Okay, alright, next question. Some of them are a little small. So, but that's what I'm here for. You just gotta actually listen to my words. This is from, Troper Hagar. This is a profile picture I see all the time, and I'm realizing right now I've never once read your name. Welcome, Troper Hagar. I'm sorry that I've 1000% read that wrong. Dear Twiins, what show from your background do you think would do well now with a full reboot? Not revival, but full tear down, start over reboot. And this is another really hard question, because I think I struggle to understand the difference between a reboot and a revival. Like, aren't they kind of the same thing? And it's a hard question, because I think a lot of the things from my background are pretty good already. A part of me wants to say Scooby-Doo, because I do think there is an unused concept of Scooby-Doo, but for an older audience that we're just not capitalizing on for some reason. Kind of like the horrible Archie Riverdale TV show, but, you know, not shitty. But I don't think Scooby needs a reboot. And then I thought, oh man, what about Powerpuff Girls? I think we could do a lot with the Powerpuff Girls. And then I remember the weird reboot thing that got, and I thought, maybe not actually. Do you remember that? The like 2000s Powerpuff Girls sequel thing? That was just not quite right. I think most people see a revival as a continuation of the original. I see. But yeah. Oh, you know what I think my final answer, though, is? Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. That's a pretty dang good cartoon. But I think there's a lot of flaws that could be fixed with it. The rules are a little loosey-goosey. There was also that live-action CW show that got canceled, and thank God. I don't think I saw anything from that. Yeah, I think my answer is Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends. Because not only were some of the rules a little loosey-goosey, but also I think the format was swell. You know, it was an episodic, funny little, you know, every episode a new fun little adventure for Max and Blue to go on. But they could absolutely go in a bit more of like a Gravity Falls kind of direction and really give it a real plot alongside, you know, the antics. And maybe that might help with the real problem. Which was that too many characters in Foster's were annoying. Blue was, bonus fact, Blue Regard Q Kazoo, I can't believe I remember his name, is voiced by the same guy who voices, oh, howdy, thank you, Titan Executor. That's how I'm gonna read that. Welcome, I appreciate it, nice name. Feel free to lurk or chit-chat if you want. But yeah, Blue is voiced by the same guy who voices that edgy guy from Overwatch. Die, die, die. Him? That's the same voice actor. Anyway, Blue is annoying. Blue is constantly annoying. He is my least favorite part of the show, and he's like one of the main characters. And not to mention the rabbit Reaper. Yep, Blue and Reaper, same voice actor. I know it Foster's, but never really saw it. After my time, I feels old. I hate when that happens. Especially when it's like a good looking cartoon. I've never seen Phineas and Ferb, but it seems great. Blue was annoying. The rabbit Harrington, he was annoying. It felt like there were too many antagonists, and often the plot was annoy Max and by proxy the audience too much. And that was a bit of an issue with that time in cartoons. There was also there's a cartoon where the gimmick is a kid, his last name is Lion, and so he gets put into animal school, and so he goes to school with a bunch of animals, and like his best friend is like a monkey. He also hung out with like a giraffe. I don't remember any of the plot other than that, you know, the what they sang in the opening. But the monkey that was his best friend was also really annoying. That was just a common issue with cartoons at that time, where the plot was a likable boy and his really, really annoying best friend. And I would love Foster's to be not as annoying as it was. My gym partner's a monkey. That's what it was. I'm so glad you guys know all these things. I feel like I talk about this shit at work and not a single person knows what I'm talking about. They look at me like I'm a freako. I should not know that off the top of my head. Isekai ass name. It really is. All right, Titan. Okay, let's chill out a little bit with the roleplay. Organisms is a bit of a weird way to greet chat. All right, you know, we're a little bit more casual than that. I remember briefly watching Foster's Home for Imaginary Friends, but I was more a Teen Titans or Power Rangers kid. Teen Titans is very, very cool. Love Teen Titans. That's a 10 out of 10 little cartoon right there. The movie was awesome too. But yeah. Blue was annoying, so if we could just reboot Foster's so that Blue and Harrington weren't annoying, 10 out of 10. Maybe they're just being inclusive. I just need to make sure people know right off the bat that I see the word organism and a part of me gets a little scared for a second, you know? As the one in charge of a stream, you know? I remember as a kid, I had a crush on Mac from Foster's. Don't judge me, I was young. That is fascinating. Everyone has a cartoon crush. Yeah, that we can't explain. For me, it was characters like Seto Kaiba. I need to watch it, honestly. It's bad. I've only seen like 2 episodes. It's kind of fine. If you're gonna watch any episode, watch the one with Cheese. The first one with Cheese. That's all I can say about that. But that is one of the funniest episodes of cartoons. Like, across history. Silly Guy 120. What a funny little name. Favorite Vocaloid song? Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is one that I thought about a lot. Because, I had a lot of cartoon crushes. Yeah, this is, one I had to think about a lot because obviously I can't just pick one, but I know that is a cute profile picture. Look at that funny little guy. So I've narrowed it down to 6. I've got 6 answers for Silly Guy on my favorite Vocaloid songs. Because these top 3 are, like, my top 3. Which is, I don't have the titles, but I know them by picture. It's Hello, How Are You? Which is, I mentioned this the other day. Screw the rules, Twiins had a crush on me. Excellent Yu-Gi-Oh! Abridged reference. Hello, How Are You? Which was the first Vocaloid song that I learned about. So obviously it's one of my favorites. Rolling Girl, which is just amazing. 10 out of 10 song. I love it. And then Senbon Sakura, which, I liked it so much. I had downloaded, I was so bored. I downloaded the demo on the 3DS, for a handheld, Project Diva game. And it only had 2 songs available for you to play. One was LOL, which stands for lots of laughs, which was fine. And the other song you could play was Senbon Sakura. And I liked Senbon Sakura so fucking much that 1, it made me go, I want to own a full game like a real one, not on the 3DS. And also, I liked it so much that I perfected the song in the demo. I could play the song 100 times. I didn't need 100 playthroughs. I perfected it. So it's what, like, really got me into the Vocaloid games, which got me into the Vocaloid scene overall. So those are my top 3. But I recognize that those are all kind of boomer options. And I wanted to show the breadth of my appreciation for Vocaloids. So I expanded my answer to a top 6, so I could give you a bit more of my range in terms of things that I like with Vocaloids. Sorry, I'm the thirstiest person on planet Earth. The thirstiest person, and it still isn't getting rid of the frog in my throat. The fog. It has transformed. I have fog in my throat. I believe Rolling Girl was actually the first Vocaloid song I ever heard. It's really good. Twiins. Hello. How are you? Me. Hi. I'm good. Twiins is the first Vocaloid song. Not a Gen 1 or Vocaloid fan. Exactly. I remember that 3DS game. I used to play that demo a lot as a kid. It was a fun little demo. The only Vocaloid songs I've listened to are Rabbit Hole and Jackpot Sad Girl. Down here we've got Ogre's Head, featuring Teto and Kaito, which is super good. It's one of the newer songs on my list. I think it's the most recent song on my list here. I listen to it so often. It's so good. You should check out more of their stuff. And I mentioned Ogrehead in my top 10, my latest top 10 Project Sekai songs. So yeah, you can check that video out for more thoughts and feelings on Ogre's Head right there. Jesus Christ, the fog has to go away. Here, let me mute myself so I can cough a lot. Here's hoping that worked. Alright, yeah. And then I've got I Hate You, which is so good. Silent Hill in her throat. And I like this new canon. It's not a frog. It's fog. I've got Silent Hill in my throat. Ironically, it's really foggy where I am. Yeah, and I'm in there. I'm in that fog. Don't go outside. I Hate You, I really like. It's this person. It's Eggton. I remember. Eggton is one of the people who've actually managed to, like, tune Eleanor Forte, which is that vocal singer right there. Well, I think a lot of people struggle to tune Eleanor, like, efficiently, and she's hard to tune, because she kind of wanders between soft and belting. You know, it's hard to do either with her. And I Hate You sounds great, and it's one of the only Vocaloid songs that I actually want to cover. I want to sing it myself. So 10 out of 10, really great. It's hilarious. Eggton is a big inspiration for my direction in terms of music, videos, and production. So check out I Hate You. And then, of course, Just Be Friends. I've listened to a million versions of Just Be Friends, and I like every single one of them. Open your door, open your door, open your door. Twiins, you need a waste of moveset on Defog. Come on, I know, right? So yeah, and a big thing, because I like so many Vocaloid songs, I couldn't narrow down what my favorite Pinocchio P song is. I got a comment on a video, and I can't remember which video, but the comment went along the lines of, I love Pinocchio P, because I had mentioned, you know, that I like his stuff. And so I love Pinocchio P. Listen to his stuff, but only his old songs. His new stuff isn't good. And I was like, what are you talking about? Magical Girl in Chocolate rocks my whole world. Reincarnation Apple is amazing. Pinocchio's soundtracks are all bangers, whether it's old or new. So I couldn't narrow down what my favorite one of those was. I really like Ghost Girl a lot. I love listening to covers of, not Kashika, Unaware Drunkard. But that's the big thing. Yay, a song I know. The big thing I wanted for this list of songs I like is I like so many Vocaloid songs, but I listen to covers, like I just said. A lot of people like to sing Vocaloid songs. Hi, Startype Gamer, welcome. A lot of people like to sing Vocaloid songs, and I like to listen to those. And I wanted to pick songs for my list here to answer our lovely silly guy. What's my favorite Vocaloid song? I wanted to pick Vocaloid songs where I prefer the Vocaloid version. And instead of a real person singing. Because I do think that matters. I do not listen to the original version of Kashika. I don't like it. I don't like how high-pitched the vocals are. I listen to the Project Sekai version, which is a whole nother, like, category. So, yeah. This is, and hence, my answer. Very, very good. Listen to these 6 songs. You'll have a grand time. I really am oops all bangers. New stuff is good, but it's not the same to my preference as the old stuff. I think a nice part about the new stuff is we're all better at mixing these days. A lot of the old stuff, everything is like at the same volume and it's hard to hear sometimes. So listen, sometimes it's really 10 out of 10 stuff. Really swell. My initial 3 are oops all boomer songs. But I think I just like a wide breadth of music anyway, so obviously I like new, I like old, and I like everything in between. Music is good. Music is good and no one ever wants to talk to me about it. IRL. Next up, this is from Jit. What a funny little name. And a funny little profile picture too. What Pokemon team would you have if you were a gym leader? Great job on making it this far. Here's hoping you do well. Thanks a million, Jet. What a sweetie pie. And what a fun question. Because first up, it means I need to choose a type. And if I were a gym leader, I would be a fighting type gym. I like fighting type Pokemon so much. And so I choose that. Even though I'm not a fighter. Maybe Poison would have been more like apropos, but I like fighting type Pokemon. So I chose fighting type as my gym leader flavor, and my team is also crazy. My team would include Hawlucha, Sock, Sneasler, Buzzwole, Pawmot, and Surfetched. The theming is I like these Pokemon. They look crazy standing next to each other. I don't have a ton of, like, coverage. I think it'd be pretty easy to handle me. I'll be honest. Poison would have been my first guess. I like Poison. I really thought about it. I just really like fighting type Pokemon a lot too. I could easily make a Poison type version or a Dark type version, or maybe even a Fire type version. But my gym would have a type advantage. You're so right. Allison, the Fairy type gym leader, would decimate me. What the fuck? What's wrong, Messiah? What's the issue here? Is it Buzzwole or is it Sneasler? Because I feel like it's gotta be one of those two. I talked Vocaloid songs with you a while back. Sadly, I had to work and you had to sleep. Yeah, I think it's Buzzwole. I think he is a lot. But what a fun guy. He's technically cheating as well. Buzzwole is it's an Ultra Beast. So probably, like, more realistically, it would be swapped out with, like, Machamp. I like Machamp plenty. But, I don't know, Buzzwole is just, like, what a funny guy. Look at him. Look at that freak over there. Ultra Beasts. The not Pokemon, yeah. I am really impressed that the Ultra Beasts they don't feel like Pokemon, really. They do feel like they come from another universe, while still fitting into the Pokemon world, which is dang impressive. So well done to the Pokemon designers for Alola, who at least got that right. Fighting gym, but it's only the Pokemon that would be in a Banjo level. Yeah, this is my post-game rematch team. Yeah. I miss the days where you could have, I like this Pokemon, so I'ma use it, rather than meta these days. Meta only matters if you're doing, like, competitive Pokemon. As it is, Pokemon games are easy enough that if you like Spinarak you could beat the game with Spinnerack. And trust me, as someone who likes Spinnerack and Ariados, I know how hard that is. Now Twiins needs all legendary Pokemon, so she can be like that one dude from Gen 4 who pulled out a Darkrai. Yes and yes. Also Sock, Overthrow, or even Hariyama is crazy. I've not used a Hariyama, but I think I would like to. I want to use Hariyama at some point. The more I see them, the more I'm like, what fun guys. But yeah, I do prefer Sock over Throw. Sock is just better. I like this shape better. I like this color palette better. And Sock's one of my favorite Pokemon. I had Sock when I played Black and White, and it's also the reason why one of my favorite moves is Brick Break, because my Sock just killed everything with Brick Break. Twiins got a Buzzwole as a starter. Out of the Ultra Beasts, I love Blacephalon. Yeah, it's a Freako. I like it too. But it's good. Freako in a good way. It's scary, funny, and does Michael Jackson moves in the anime. That is weird. Take this, 10-year-olds. I hate children. Pawmot is, hands down, my favorite Pikachu clone. And I think I like that it doesn't feel like a Pikachu clone, even though it's like, it looks the most like one. That is the most we have Pikachu at home ass design that I've seen, but it's great. And I think it's the fact that it feels like its own Pokemon, and not just, look, it's Pikachu again, guys. The fact that they made it evolve, and that it's dual typing with fighting, is just, it's just good stuff, you know? It's just a good guy. I hear Sock and think of South Park parody. Hello, welcome back. We're talking about Pokemon, but I think we're gonna move on from this question. It was a great question. And here's my team. Don't come at me, cause I will win through the power of, using way more potions than you. Next up, from the gardening section, what a fun name. Celebration noises. Also, do you think you'd ever do breakdowns for cool fights you really like? I don't think so, because I don't watch a whole lot of stuff that has cool fights that I like. Okay. Titan, I got it. Okay. I appreciate you being here. I need to let you know. Congrats on 30K. Your sister should be proud. She's not here. This is a Twiins Inc. stream. This isn't a Judgmental Critter stream. Don't... And I know you're not trying to be rude, but like... Congrats! Let me talk about your sister instead. That's pretty rude. You don't have to bring her up in relation to my success. You know? So... Yeah, I'm sorry for, like, putting you on blast a second time here. But, you know, like, read the room a little bit. Anyway, I don't talk about fights very often. I don't watch a whole lot of stuff with fights very often. Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I was like, I gotta blow my nose a little bit. I didn't think it'd be horrible like that. I would've muted my mic. So yeah, I don't think so. I'm not one to analyze fights anymore, because I'm just not watching things with fights, other than, I suppose, Demon Slayer. But Demon Slayer is so exciting that it's like, I don't think I could articulate smart thoughts, you know? I'm impressed I even managed to analyze their designs that one time. Twiins, Pokemon, Demon Slayer fight analysis. Sword goes slice. Tanjiro uses water breathing third form. Sword goes swish swash. Swish swash. That's her Pokemon's job, clearly, being a fighter. Yeah. Twiins likes the battle of the mind type fights with gambling. That is so true. But, oh my god, discussing a good, like, Kaiji gamble would be impossible, because objectively it's like, and then Kaiji needs to figure out, how the heck do I make the pachinko balls go? And then he sits there for a long time. And then he thinks about it, and he goes, wait, what if I had a magnet? You know? Swish swash is my new favorite onomatopoeia for Tanjiro. So yeah, no, but that's alright. It wouldn't be good anyway. Next up, this is from Twisty Rob. Out of all the Pokemon Magical Girl playthroughs you've done so far, what's been your favorite design for each playthrough? And this is a fun answer. Or a fun question because I got to get a visual for the answer. Here we go, it's them! So, and I bet they're not necessarily what all you expected. This, you probably don't even remember. Her name is Antidote. That is my Marini from when, in Sword and Shield, when I was scattered. I couldn't figure out what Pokemon I wanted on my team. Nothing felt good against Charizard or fire types in general. And so I caught a bunch of water types that I didn't have actually using. And Antidote was one of them. And I just always was really taken with Antidote's design. The umbrella is mid, but it's one of the best I've done. Umbrellas are hard. And in general, the hair is fun, the pose is fun. I like Antidote. And then yes, I've got Nina, the short-lived Nidorina on my red team. Nina, I didn't keep on the team. She is the one Pokemon that I caught and then moved to the box. Even though I intended to use her, I got rid of all my Moonstones, and so I needed something that could learn Surf. And Nina was the one to go out of the team. But and so I was so annoyed, because I do the playthrough, and then I draw the Pokemon, and I was like, fuck, I made her design way too good. She looks awesome. This blows. I should have used her more. And that's why she still shows up in the final picture, even though that picture looks bad. That final shot of all the kids when I, like, do the wrap-up. Yeah, but anyway, Nina's 10 out of 10, and then obviously Heidi, my starter. She is I love this design. I think Heidi might be one of my best designs that I've come up with, because I'm just so proud of how well I executed on her looking like Toadscruel, but as a magical girl. I feel like I often fail at having my kids look like magical girls. In an attempt to have them resemble the Pokemon. Thank you, Titan. And I'm proud. I'm proud that with Heidi, I feel like I succeeded, actually, in achieving both. So, yeah. This was so fun, because it meant I got to re-look at some of my old designs and be like, oh, that one's good. Oh, that one's good. Oh, that one's bad. Art are hard, and that's what makes it satisfying. It's like worthwhile, because it's like playing Elden Ring. The fact that it's hard is what makes doing it feel so exciting, rewarding. Nina does win best design. My faves are probably Gardevoir, Payonce, and Mouse Squad. Mouse Squad is not the Pokemon's name. But I love that. Yeah, the Gardevoir design was really nice. That was the first one I did. And I really made her look like a magical girl. And then I almost immediately stopped doing that. On accident. Payonce is another really fun one. I cherish that Jigglypuff's sprite. And yeah, Jigglypuff's sprite is so... It's just so funny, with the one eye being kind of like askew looking. Absolutely, it just made Payonce so much more fun, giving her that skewed eye that the old sprite kind of implied. Yeah, and then Fam Squad, the Mousehold. They were fun. I liked them. One of my favorite comments is someone, because I mentioned I wanted them to look like a cult, but I didn't explain why. I wanted Fam Squad to look like they had escaped from a cult to explain them staying together. I wanted to imply like a found family kind of relationship with the group. Like they were all brothers and sisters that escaped from a cult together, because I didn't want to imply fornication, because that's the actual implication with Mousehold. that a mom and dad have children. And I wanted to make sure to avoid that, and so I'm like, they'll all be siblings. Siblings who escaped from a cult, because I guess that's just how my brain works. But I didn't explain all that. I just said I wanted them to look like they escaped from a cult. And so someone in the comments was like, oh yes, I love my favorite magical girl show, the Greenwich Cuckoos, and it makes me laugh every single time I see that comment. Art goes so hard though. They look awesome. Thank you. Oh yeah, also Mouse Squad being a regional variant would be so funny. I love that idea. Mouse Squad is a great name. Beyonce is one of my favorites. I love that you included her messed up eye. You didn't have to, but you did. I think I did have to. If I didn't include that messed up eye, I would have been like, what are you doing? You're not a real artist. You know what? I think I didn't even explain that aspect to me, and I don't think I did explain it to you either. Sometimes it's easier to just accept what Twiins says. Found family orphans? Nah, cult. I was just like, okay, I guess they were in a cult, I guess. Oops. Oh well. You all enjoyed it, that's the important part. Next up, this is from Helicoprion. I hope I read that right. Helicoprion. Yeah, I think that's right. Congratulations, Twiins! Out of all the character designs you've done, which is your favorite and which is your least favorite? And this is fucking hard. This was a hard-ass question because I've done a lot of designs. All of them, like, I've got designs for videos, designs for comics, designs that I just make on stream, designs that I just make for fun. So this was, and it felt impossible to narrow it down. So I don't think I have least favorites. Like, obviously I do, but, I decided to instead kind of zero in on some favorites that are, like, one-off pieces that I still really like. You know what I'm saying? So instead of, you know, look at how great this magical girl is from Grim Magic. We all know, hair flip, that my magical girls all look 10 out of 10. But instead I wanted to focus on some of the designs for, that, like, I've done on stream, and give those a little bit of a shout out. We've got, first up, there's 2 pages for this, for the appreciation. I've got, the human versions of the Teal Mask, legendaries for Pokemon. Pheasantipity, Okidogi, Monkey Dory, Pekarunt, and, Ogerpon. So I've got them. I really liked them. It took me a while to do this piece too. I remember it was multiple streams, and it took me forever, but I'm really happy with how they all turned out. Really fun. A really fun layout here. And then Epona, if she were in Uma Musume, which, yeah, it is kind of just Link's tunic, but I'm so proud of, 1, the shoes, 2, the rendering. Like, I drew her so well. The Teal Mask ones are so good, thank you. So, yeah, I thought about adding the evolutions. Those were also really good, but they did not quite make the list. I kept myself to 3 pieces, which are all a lot more green than I expected. I've just always got green in the background, I guess. This is a bit of a nostalgia trip, isn't it? Because, you know, like, I drew them and it was all nice and all, but I think it's easy to forget about them. So it's nice to appreciate the designs that don't get comics or videos to, like, you know, to supplement them. Soon Twiins will have a hard drive collection for all designs they have. Only so much storage in one drive. I would love... not a joke, her art folder is actually insane. It is. I'm running out of space on my PC. I put all of my Vocaloid, no, what's it called? Violet, my magical girl Violet stuff on a different hard drive because it was taking up too much space. Man, what was I gonna say? I feel like it was something about how much green there is. Either way, really fun. I really liked all these designs. Oh, I'd love, One Taker has reminded me that I would love to make an art book. I would cherish that, and I could put all these pieces like on print and kind of get to discuss them. I think that'd be super fly. I don't know how to do that. So currently not happening, but I'd love to. One more thing though is the magical plant girls I did. Remember, I'm so happy with how these all turned out. I don't know if I can remember all their plants. From left to right, I believe it's a spider lily, and then a bleeding tooth mushroom, a prickly pear cactus. It's like a caped mushroom. I forget that one's name specifically. And then, no, that one's a tiger lily. At the end. What was this one? Monkey face spider or something? Or no. Like monkey, screaming monkey. I can't remember. My brain is telling me that monkey or spider is involved in the name, and I can't recall. But they're all so pretty. I'm so happy with how all these girls turned out. And what a fun composition. I also, a complete fluke that the composition ended up this good. Also, pay attention. You'll notice. Look at this. That they like anchor down. Like, this girl is higher up than that girl. They just whoop, they go, they how did that happen? And it's because she ended up so tall. But what an accidentally awesome composition, with the two on the ends and the one in the middle raising their arms, and then the two white, like very white colored characters in terms of their outfits have their arms like down. So it just makes like for a nice, you know, kind of a good balanced composition, I think. And it was I completely didn't mean to, and it looks great. Spider monkey, it may have been a spider monkey lily. I'm not even sure if it's a lily though. So Bun also says congratulations. Thank you, Bun. Tell her that she is on stream funnier than you. But everyone should watch Messiah stream. Everyone, right now, click away from my stream for just a second. Click on Messiah's name and follow him, and watch him play Little Nightmares. Everyone, go. I'll wait 10 seconds. 1,000, 2,000, 3,000. I need water. 6,000, 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000. Okay, everyone's back. Okay. Yeah, everyone go follow Messiah and watch him play Little Nightmares with his wife, even though he is bad at the game. I did do the laugh. Did I just watch him on 1 million speed? I don't know what just happened. But, yeah, I think these designs rule. I'm so proud of them. So, thanks a million for the question, because I think it's nice getting a chance to sit down and just take a gander at some of these, like, one-off pieces and be like, oh yeah, these are awesome. You can be good at games. You can be if you're quiet. That's the problem. I've been watching, specifically, a streamer called, Mitch Riz play, like, a lot of, like, Elden Ring and Sekiro, and he's good at the game, and it's because he's quiet. He, like, starts a fight, and he shuts up, and then he finishes the fight, and then he starts talking again. And I think that's my problem, is, I talk too much. So yeah, what a lovely question. Next up, we got a bit of a double up, because these questions were pretty similar, so I figured I could approach them at the same time here. So, Smart Onion asks, what a cute little name. Hang on. Okay, I thought I needed a sneeze, but I'm alright. Smart Onion asks, who are your favorite and least favorite characters in Project Sekai in terms of story, personality, and vocal performance? Also, love your Project Sekai vids. Always a blast to watch. Thank you so much. What a sweet onion. And then Pastel Hearts has a similar question. Congrats on the milestone. Woohoo! Also, here are my questions. What are your favorite / least favorite Project Sekai character? Which Smart Onion also asks. And what are your favorite Project Sekai unit and group? So, yay, we can talk about Vocaloids again. Majora's Mask would be easier with a full brain. It's true. It just is true. And what a shame. I was cursed with half a brain. Twiins has yet to learn the art of concentration mode. I enter sweaty gamer mode, but eventually that exists on the edge of rage mode. And if that meter keeps going, then I black out and I crash out. And you all like my crash outs, which is good because I think they're embarrassing. But yeah, to talk about Project Sekai again, so we'll approach Pastel Heart's second question first, because it's easiest, because it's tough. I like all of them. I really do like all the units. It's hard to say one is a least favorite group, you know, but I do think my favorite, it's so hard. I'm really torn between Vivid Bad Squad and Nightcord, and it's because they produce the songs I like the most often. You know, I like Wonderland's, you know, story a whole lot. I think Momo Jump's vibes are really fun. Leonid, also has good qualities. No, I like Leonid. I like the sound of them. I think they have a really good collection of vocalists, all working together pretty dang nicely. But I think I just like the songs that Vivid Bad Squad and Nightcord are given most often. And that's the hard part. I think I need to put my favorite unit as Nightcord, because I'm thinking of, not only has their stories been really gripping, between Mafuyu's mom and, Mizuki's identity, but also just, I'm thinking about which group's set list do I like playing through the most, and I stopped to play more Nightcord songs versus Vivid Bad Squad by just a little bit, by a hair. Leonid has Saki and Honami, so that's something. It's true. It's so funny. I think Ichika and Shiho have my favorite vocals in Leonid, but Saki and Honami are my favorite characters in Leonid. Nice stopping and congrats. Thank you. That's hey, nothing to. Thank you for saying sorry. I just didn't want, you know. Sometimes as streamer, you gotta make sure everyone knows the rules. And, I'm glad that, you know, you were understanding. And I appreciate you being here. You can always come wandering back, if and you ever want to. Or don't, you know, it's your life. I'm not your mom. I've watched enough that I feel like I should remember the groups, but I, in fact, do forgore. Yeah, Leonid is the band, Momo Jump are the idols, Wonderlands are the circus, Vivid Bad Squad are the rap group, and Nightcord is sad group. So, there you go. But now I can answer favorite/least favorite Project Sekai character that was asked. I don't know, so my least favorite character in terms of personality and story is still Shiho. They've done better with her recently. I just feel like I'm still disappointed that she was weirdly manipulative with Saki in the main story, and then they just keep dumping praise on her. Every time she does anything, someone, either a Vocaloid or someone like their manager, has to be like, the bassist is so amazing, she's so good, and I'm like, I'm just shut up about her. I don't know, she annoys me. She's just the type of personality that I don't like in a character anyway. But in terms of vocal performance, I think Emu is my least favorite, and it's just because I don't like high-pitched voices. That's really it. I think Emu is swell. She doesn't sing poorly. I just don't like. I also don't like Minori all that much for the same reason. They just have these cute baby-ish high-pitched voices that I just don't jive with me. My favorite vocalists are Akito, Tsukasa, Toya, and Rui. And my favorite Vocaloid is Kaito. Gee, I wonder what a common denominator might be. You know? So, and one of my other favorite vocalists are An and Shiho, two of the girls who also wander into deeper ranges. It's just how it be. So, you know, and so you gotta take stuff like that with a grain of salt. Favorite in terms of story and personality, it's basically all of them. I really like Kanade, I really like Tsukasa, I really like Saki. I wish I liked more of the idols more. That's the hard part. I want to like more Jump so much, and I do. I think they're really fun. I like their vibes, but they're plotless. They're plotless, and their gimmicks are not used enough. And so often they just kind of do the same things over and over, which is overarchingly a bit of an issue. But with the idols especially, it's like, and then it's a Honami event, and the plot is that she learns to relax. And then it's a Shizuku event, and the plot is that I am me. I am myself. I love me and who I am, and I love being me. That's what every single Shizuku event is, and I adore Shizuku. She's my favorite of the idols, but that doesn't mean her events are interesting. So I like them all. I think my favorite I'm gonna give to Kanade and Tsukasa. It's a tie. My favorite vocalist is Akito, but it's tough because I do like everybody. I really do. Even Shio has, her good qualities, even if I don't love how she was utilized in the main story, The worst part about Shio are her fans, who can't handle the fact that I didn't like her. Someone introduces themselves with high-pitched voice. Twins, sorry, we can't be friends. Oh my god. I'm not gonna say any specific names. I clicked, so I just go to Twitch, like how I like to do, see if there's anything going on that looks interesting. Anyone who I'm following might be streaming. And if you go to the front page of Twitch, a stream will start auto-playing, and I almost always just pause that, because shut up, you're distracting me. I'm looking at all the recommended artists at the bottom of the screen there. And I'm not gonna say any specific names, but it was a very popular VTuber from a very popular company streaming. And I don't remember what they were saying. I don't even know if they said real words. I just hear, oh my god, you big... And I was like, Jesus fucking Christ. I closed the window. They made me fully leave the window. So no, we can't be friends if you talk like a baby. It's just the truth of it. And I think that's all I can say about that. Let's move on to the next question. Thanks a million for the questions. I love talking about Project Sekai, even though it feels like nobody on stream knows what that is. That's the thing. Damn, it was me. It was. So, what an emote. Yeah, I love talking about Project Sekai. I so often feel like I need to rein myself in, though, because no one knows what I'm saying. Cybersecurity. What a fun little name, and a fun little profile picture. What are all the meanings to the songs you've made so far? So this is an interesting question, because I feel like they're pretty obvious. So I'm not really one. I don't like holding my audience's hand when it comes to art. I think there's value in allowing somebody, a viewer or a reader or a listener, to make their own conclusions about art. People who go, what's this about? I want you to figure that out. I want you, there are no necessarily right or wrong answers. Maybe I conveyed it poorly or successfully, but there's value in assessing and thinking about art and coming to the answer for yourself. But especially if you say the meaning outright, it becomes only that meaning. Exactly. I want you to decide what you think my songs are about. With that being said, I still lead you in some pretty clear directions. I only release songs publicly with a music video for a reason. And I work quite hard on them. You can interpret more out of Bug with the lyrics that I translate for you. And what some deeper meanings might be. But as it is, if you don't want to look into it further, if you want to read it at face value for what the music video tells you, Spider Lady Eats a Fly. Just Another Breakup Song. I wonder what that one's about, So yeah, it's I feel like I've played the emotions pretty on my sleeve, but if you listen to Just Another Breakup Song and you get some inkling to I don't think it is about a breakup. I think, and you spin a yarn about how you interpret the lyrics and everything. then that is so valid. Yeah, there's, especially with music, there is not just one right answer. And so, yeah, and I'm certainly not gonna tell you, because I like letting people think for themselves. I think it's annoying when an artist to any level sits there and tells you, and this is what this means, and this is what that means. I think about, Pollock, Jackson Pollock. And he was, you should Google him, you'll recognize him, it's the splatter paintings. And people would go on and on about what they thought his pictures meant. And there's a very famous example where they're contemplating the use of red in one corner of a piece. The whole picture, you know, splattered colors, and then in one corner there's some red. And people are discussing what they think it means. And Pollock looks at the red, and he goes, oh, I think this painting was just near this other one where I was working with red and some red got on it. Because sometimes that's what the answer is. It's just the artist, oh, got some red on that painting. So, but if you're able to infer your own meaning out of that little bit of red in the corner, then who's to say you're reading it wrong? Art is to be appreciated, to be discussed, not to be told to you. That's why you engage with it in the way you can, by looking at it, reading it, listening to it. So there you go. I know, a bit of an artsy-fartsy answer, but it was a good excuse to be artsy and fartsy. The worst part about anything is the fans that can land you not liking them. Yeah, yeah. Fans who get a little too invested can be a bit like, calm down a little bit. I think it was about the stock market crash of 2008. See? What an interpretation. I like art that makes you think. I agree. As opposed to that art that tells you what to think. Yes. Very well said, Pyra. That's good. Because I think preachy art can have value. I think about, you know, environmentalism messages in, like Princess Mononoke. Yeah, it can have value, but it can end up being too much, and often it is done poorly. Versus art that makes you think, it lets you come to the conclusions about, wow, we should save the environment. The curtains were fucking blue type shit, yeah. As a writer, I can confirm it's much more fun to see people make their own interpretations. Exactly. Discuss the art or else. That's so what it is. So, you know what, actually, let's take a small second. Everyone, we can have a small bathroom break, / go get a snack break, / get a beverage if you need one. And while I'm gone, choose one of my songs, if you've listened to any of them, and tell me what you think it's about. If you can remember the title of the song, that's swell. If not, you can probably explain what happens in it. The one where a woman is crying on a bed, you know? I wrote something that was just what I said, and someone asked, wow, was that a metaphor? Yes. So yeah, I'll be right back. So feel free to discuss some thoughts on art appreciation, which is what I kind of just explained, of art that lets you think instead of telling you what to think. And or talk about, do some art appreciating for yourself. And I'll be right back. I'll be back in a real quick jiffy. So, yippee! I've returned. Allison's in the kitchen, making a bunch of noise. So get excited to hear her in the background. What'd y'all say? Anyone say anything interesting? OD on Dayquil is my favorite, even though it's viscerally upsetting, or maybe because it is. I think it's about being sick. God, Pepsi and Maltesers, that's so fancy. My interpretation for your eyes is frustration without an acceptable social outlet, anger that needs to be vented, and an overactive imagination conflicting with the constraints of polite society, which only reinforces and reminds us of how we have to constantly endure the same frustrations day in and day out. Adjusts glasses. Stereotype Gamer gets an award for having the most well-thought chat of the year, by far. That was downright... I didn't know that my chat could be this well worded. You have set the bar quite high, Stereotype Gamer. I expect everyone to start speaking a little bit more eloquently these days. No. Wow, what a 10 out of 10 answer right there. Ooh, neat. Yeah. Anyway, back to saying I forgore and stuff. Next question. This is from Io. Io's in chat a lot. They're a VOD warrior for sure. You're always around. So Io, aka Io Light. Yippee, 30k, you did it. I hope that's an I and not an L. Twiins, can you tell us in no particular order your top 5 favorite video games? Abso-fucking-lutely I can. OMG, it me. Yeah. Human dog appears. Well, let me grab the boy. The man. The fellow. There he is. Hi, Doug. Doug will become a little small, and he can go over there. Wow, it Doug. Yeah, my favorite, top 5 favorite video games are, in no particular order, Banjo-Kazooie, The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, Tales of Xillia, Nier, and Pokemon Violet. This was hard because I like a lot of games. But I think, and specifically picking a Pokemon game, because I usually cop out and I just say, all of Pokemon. But to pick a specific one, I do think Violet has taken over as my new top favorite. It's the one I'm the most willing to replay, regardless of of accessibility. You know, if I had all the games easily playable, I think I would replay Violet the most often. Flatulence in an impressive font. Violet being here shouldn't be a surprise, considering I made a goddamn, 3.5 hour long video. That's a whole love letter to the game. I no longer have to sneak type. You've done it impressively well. I never would have guessed you were at work. So yeah, favorite games, I don't know what it says. I really like Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts when I was younger. Gotta play the other. You absolutely should, Bob Blitz. 100%. You can play them on the Switch and the Switch 2 if you have Nintendo Online, and so you get access to the N64 games. They're so fun. They're really, really fun. I adore Banjo-Kazooie. Banjo-Kazooie is the only game I've considered speedrunning. And I think I'm still considering speedrunning it. There's a part of me that's like, what if I just speedran Banjo? Congrats on how you're stuck here with us for a good while, yeah. So yeah, Banjo, I cherish the game. My first memory is Banjo, you know? And Zelda is similar. It's the Zelda I grew up with, and I think that ends up becoming everyone's favorite. I do think others have given it a run for its money. You know, I really like Twilight Princess. I really liked Tears of the Kingdom specifically. But I don't think anything has quite surpassed Ocarina of Time, even if I'm willing to accept that it is not the best Zelda. I think it is excellent. It is one of the best video gaming experiences, but we must acknowledge that with age, everything feels a little bit clunky. The cutscenes are not as impressive as they could be. So, you know, you have to understand that, and I don't think I can call it the best Zelda on a technical level, but it being the most impactful makes it the best at a certain level, for sure. Tales of Xillia, RPG, really excellent. I was fucking obsessed with Tales of Xillia. There's something, it's formed me. It is what made me so invested in Matthew Mercer as a voice actor. He plays Alvin. And it's just a real 10 out of 10 RPG. Absolutely recommend. I've played it like, what, 3.5 times? I do recommend you do the Jude playthrough. That's when you get the best part. I won't spoil it though. But yeah, you can play as the boy or the girl. Her name is Mila. And so that's interesting, but Mila's story has a section that is kind of slow by nature, and it can be impactful, but Jude, the boy, during that section, it's a lot more intense, and it's just my favorite part of the game, so do a Jude playthrough, and you'll enjoy it more. 1998 was a heck of a year for gaming. It really was. The opening's also bangerang. It's so good. Tales of Xillia's opening is amazing. You are super late, but you are here. We appreciated your fun fan art you had drawn. Everyone liked it a whole lot. I told everyone to subscribe to you on Blue Sky. And then Nier is also instrumental to me. And I think there's no surprise. If you look at my art, and I mean, I already mentioned how much I like the artist for Nier in Drakengard, but Yoko Taro's storytelling, I think you can see how he has influenced me with my storytelling. I would certainly hope. I can only dream that my stories ever reach the same level of impact that his do. But I think if you pay attention, you can see the strings of inspiration across my work that he has left. Nier is a bad game, objectively. But it's... Yoko Taro's storytelling is out of this world. Yoko Taro is what Kojima wants to pretend to be. And great music, great visual direction, just a bad game. There is a remake that you can play, but there's something special about the shitty original version that I had, and I watched the best friends play. So, yay. Yeah, Nier is so good. I cherish Nier and everything about it. And it's so frustrating that if I say, I like Nier, people go, do you mean Automata or the original? And I say, well, I didn't say I like Nier Automata. I said I like Nier. And I like Automata too. What are you doing? Get out of my room. I like Automata too, don't get me wrong. But I do like Nier more. Automata is very good though. And yeah, Pokemon. I cherish Pokemon. Pokemon is my favorite franchise across everything, I suppose. I grew up with Pokemon. Pokemon is so important to me. And, yeah, there's lots of favorites I've had. I like, Soul Silver. I like Soul Silver. I like Black and White. But I think Violet has overtaken Legends. Both of the Legends games are very, very good, though. Like, they gave it a run for its money. But, yeah, there's just something about Violet that I just like it a whole dang lot. I don't even think... It's not bad. People treat... Like, hang on. I gotta get the fog out of my throat. Hang on. People treat Scarlet and Violet like they're unplayable. And I'm like, guys, what? It's not. Yeah, it's got some frame rate issues. Yes. We can all accept that. But the character designs are great. The gameplay is fun. Even, you know, if sometimes it struggles with the system. Wow, what a surprise. The renowned powerhouse / sarcastic Switch struggles to run a big game. Wow. I'm so surprised. But yeah, I love the Pokemon. I love the characters. I love the story. It's fun. It's a fun game to play. It's a fun game to replay. So, yeah. I really like, I think Unova was my first, like, #1 favorite for a while there. I do really like Black version. But, yeah. Violet has finally taken over. Rough cut gems shine brighter than diamonds sometimes. That's so poetic and beautiful. I wish I wasn't constantly coughing as to ruin you guys being very smart and eloquent. Twiins likes Pokemon. Would never have guessed. I know. Really throwing everyone for a loop there. Kitty's yeah, Pippin's being a silly little guy. But that's okay. He wandered away. Great question. I love talking about video games, obviously. Here, give me a second. I'm gonna mute again so I can blow my nose, but not let you guys hear it. See if you can read this tiny text for a second. Okay, did you read it? Were you able to? Okay, so this is from Mira Mira on the wall. Mira is in chat sometimes. First off, congrats, Twiins. Hope you can continue to make content both here and on Twitch. Both you and your viewers enjoy. As for my question, how about what region or country would you like to see become a Pokemon region? I guess individual states also count, considering Alola and Unova. So, first up, thank you. Second up, it's tough because I do think they should do America again. And it's not like in a different state kind of mindset. I think Unova actively is a bad representation of America. It doesn't feel like America at all. We got legendaries that are gins? No. They put a desert with like a desert with a pyramid in it. It's not the States. It's just isn't. Oh, they have one big city? Oh, and it's New York? No, that's Tokyo in disguise. So I would like for them to actually do America, but without doubling up. I stand by, I think Italy would be nifty, mostly because I think a Pokemon version of Venice, which is a water city, would be so cool. And we've already kind of gotten that with like things like Pacificlog, but like a really zhuzhed up Italy flavored Venice Pokemon city would just be real dang nifty. So yeah, that's what I choose. Either actually America or Italy. So yippee. But I'm quite frankly happy every single time. I think if I had to say one I wouldn't want would be China, just because with the mobile game market being very, there's a lot of Chinese flavored mobile games with like Genshin Impact and Wuthering Waves, etc. I feel like we're just seeing a lot of Chinese iconography, and I'm sure it'd be pretty dang awesome if Pokemon did it too. But since we do see so much of it right now, I think I appreciate getting to see other cultures through Pokemon. Like how we got Spain. Spain in Violet and Scarlet was super dang fly. Canada would be lovely. I think they should do Canada next. Kicks my Canada flag shirt out of frame. Canada would be pretty dang nifty. I think it could be fun. I feel like I would learn a lot. Next up, we got another bit of a doubling up question here. This is from Kit Kat Rose, with a very fun profile picture there. OMG, congratulations on 30K! Thank you! What are your favorite videos that you have made / recorded so far? And we've got Hawken Bailey asking, which of your videos would you consider to be the best video you've ever made? They're very similar. But there is a bit of a special distinction, and I think there's a handful that I think fall into these two different categories. I do think, above all else, my favorite and the best video I've made is how I became a magical girl in Pokemon Violet. It took me so long. I put so much effort into it. I'm incredibly proud of it. It is, it still stands as, I think, the best video I've done. And I hope you all watch it. I know the 3-hour, time can be a little intimidating, but highly recommend it. You can always watch it in chunks while you eat dinner. You don't need to sit down and watch one thing in one full go. The next couple here are just some of my favorites. Mouthwashings, full story. I like that I was able to turn it around so quickly just because I really liked Mouthwashing's story. And I like that I get to, like, my video is my preferred way of re-experiencing the story. Other people have, you know, played through Mouthwashing and have, like, full story videos as well. Personally, I just like mine because, I'm really proud of all my performances, especially as, oh, I forget his name. The older one. The one that isn't Jimmy or Curly or Daisuke or Anya. But yeah, his performance, I don't know, I was just really proud of my performances, everybody. And I approached the story really, I think, really well. And I'm so glad, that, I'm so glad that I've gotten multiple comments on that video saying that they were intimidated by Mouthwashing and that they appreciated, like, how I went about it. That I made it easy for them to watch the story. Swansea, thank you so much! I was like, what's his name? I can't remember! And then, a bit of a real curveball here. The Dark Souls and Mario games. This was, I think, the first, highlights video I did from stream. I really like these. Nobody else does. I've also got, like, I did my No I'm Not a Human video like this, and I did one for Little Goody Two Shoes recently too, and I think these are fun. I think these are fun videos to watch, and no one else cares. But I really like these like gameplay highlights from stream. I think they're funny. I think they're fun, and yeah, and I think the Mario one is still my favorite, just because there were so many ebbs and flows with Mario. Thoughts on the Super Mario Galaxy movie? Well, I haven't seen the first Mario movie, so I can't care too much. I'm glad that, I think it's Brie Larson who's playing Rosalina, and I'm glad that she just seems really, really excited. She seems to be a real fan of Mario, and I'm glad. So, and everyone really likes Galaxy, even though I haven't played it, and I think it looks like a boring game. But everyone seems really excited, and so, yeah, I hope it's fun. And to the elephant in the room. I can't call it my favorite because I don't like any of my Ruby videos anymore because I don't watch the show. But I do think Ruby Discussion, The Fall of Ironwood and Ruby, is one of the best videos I've made. And I think the numbers speak for that because I think it's my most viewed video. I think it has well over 200,000 views. And it is consistently, still to this day, the video I get the most comments on. If I have any notifications for new comments, there's almost always at least one for Ironwood here. And I don't really read them anymore, because I don't care. But, I can at least take solace in the fact that it's like, well, I don't care about Ruby, and I wish people would stop watching my Ruby content. But at least they're watching the good one I made. You know? So yeah, I think that's my answer. I really like, clearly, the stuff related to stream. But I'm glad that I'm really proud of my Magical Girl videos, which do take so much effort, and you know, the one Ruby video that I suppose I can continue to recognize. It's the Ruby Swan song of the channel. It really is. Quite frankly, that's the embarrassing thing. I made that video, and then I kept making more Ruby videos, and it's like, lame-o. Should've just stopped. It's like how, Jax Films, like, made Yai 200 or whatever, and then made, like, 20 more Yais. You know? And, or Jackass, or whatever the fuck. He's got like 4 million different little shows. I'm proud of him though. I want him to be happy too. But yeah, what a fun little question, because I do put a lot of effort into all my videos, so it's a worthwhile thing to explore what I think is my favorites. This one, the answer is on the screen too, but we're still talking about videos. Selena asks a similar question. Congrats on 30k subscribers, Twiins, you've earned it. My question is, out of all the videos you've made, which is your favorite or / most proud of? Wait, was this on the previous? No, okay. Which one's your favorite / or most proud of? Which I just answered. And if you could redo one of your videos, which one would it be? And it would be Get Over Adam. Ruby discussion in air quotes. Some of you guys gotta get over Adam, your Adam headcanons already. And I wouldn't because I don't care about Ruby. But nobody liked this video. And I understand why. It was needlessly pointed. I learned a lot in that trying to waggle my finger and tell a fandom, hey, you need to stop that, is not only rude, but a waste of oxygen anyway. And I could approach, like, yeah, Adam fans, like, they need to come to grips with the fact that they wanted Adam to be the protagonist, and he just never was going to be the protagonist they really wanted him to be. I think about how I watched the Yellow trailer when it first came out, and I saw a comment in the comment section, lamenting how it played out, about how Junior leaned in for a kiss, and they detailed how basically Junior should have grabbed Yang by the waist, pulled her into a kiss, and it just felt so gross. And Adam fans so consistently feel the same way of misogynistic. And I know, you know, if you got your favorite and you want them to be important, listen, I was annoyed that Torchwick didn't come back. But yeah, I should have, if I wanted to, you know, I should have handled this idea with a softer hand. There's no reason to be so rude to Adam fans for being upset that their favorite character got honestly shafted. His characterization was bad. And it could have been good. So yeah, I was needlessly rude, for no good reason, over a adios. Have fun. Boblets. have a grand old time. If you get a comment by Tails for Fox, that's me. I'll remember that one. I'll try at least. But yeah, the video is just, no wonder everyone got super mad at me. Adam fans now hate me. And I get it. I do think at a point you gotta just be like, guys, get over it a little bit. Like, get over me a little bit. My video is not popular enough for you to still hate me, I think. I would have loved for Adam to have been cool too. But I shouldn't have been as rude about approaching the idea at all. You live, you'll learn. But what a hilarious thumbnail. That's why I made it bigger, because this thumbnail makes me laugh. I'm so proud of this. So yeah, they're not all winners. Most of my Ruby videos are pretty boring, but this is the one that was misguided from the start anyway, so if I were to, it would be this one. But I'm not going to, because I don't watch Ruby, so who cares? Vaguely Rowlet. That is vaguely Rowlet in the profile picture there, isn't it? Look at him. Congratulations! In what place from what game would you choose to live in? I.e. the Splatlands from Splatoon 3, Unova from Pokemon Black and White, etc. I would specifically want to live in, I think I want to live in Ecruteak City, from Pokemon. That's a pretty easy answer. It is a good question, because people always ask what game, but where? Yeah, either I'll spin you a handful of yarns of different, because obviously I like Pokemon, and Ecruteak is so beautiful. So Ecruteak would be pretty dang fly, but also, I think living in a castle in Elden Ring would be nice, assuming I live in the castle. Nowhere else in Elden Ring seems nice, but if I were in the castle, then I'm to some degree safe. Honestly, I wasn't pissed or anything, but I understood why. People just needed a wake-up call. Yeah, and I just felt like people, because I was around volume whenever Adam died, that people were just getting way too riled up. And honestly, I wanted them to be like, guys, you gotta calm down. You're getting yourself wound up, and it's just not helping, you know? I understand it's frustrating, but winding yourself up and staying mad, you're just making yourself upset for no helpful reason. And it'd be nice to move on. You know, I know, be mad, do it, and then just move on for your own sake. But I didn't say it like that. So, whoopsies. Anyway, yeah, I want to be a princess in Elden Ring, which is, a fallacy. Those don't exist. Any Animal Crossing village or island or city would be great. That would be, it's super duper swell. Spiral Mountain is objectively a good place to live, I think. And most versions of Kakariko are pretty dang swell. Windfall Island! Actually, I choose Windfall Island from Wind Waker. I cherish Windfall Island. I spent so much time. I know Windfall Island like the back of my hand. So, yeah. There's lots of great places to live in video games. The trick is you just gotta know what games that you want to live in, because you're jumping into a world. And I'm a newer fan too, but more interested in more things. Exactly. Yeah. To be fair, his death was a wake-up call for me that the show didn't care about the characters. Yeah, I mean, you know, the writing was bad. But the writing was always bad. Until the end of time. So yeah, Pokemon, I think, still gets it. I would be dang happy living anywhere in Pokemon. Goldenrod would also be swell. Yeah, I guess I choose Johto. Even though Violet is my favorite game, Johto just seems so fucking pretty. It'd be so fun to live in Johto anywhere. All the games I want to live in the most, I'd probably super die in, so I'd probably just say Verdant Turf, yeah. I know, it's like, oh man, Monster Hunter would be nifty, and then you think about the monsters, and it's like, maybe not. Ah, Nier Automata. I don't belong there, you know? But a fun question. I like the specificity of it. This is from Natsume Williams. What a fun name. Also, they're a Mimikyu. That's cute. Twiins, congratulations. Thank you. I love watching your videos. They're really fun. For my question, that was so nice. For my question, what would be your ranking of the World Link cutscenes in Project Sekai? That's right. We're back to Project Sekai. So, if you don't know... oh, Baldur's Gate has 5 murder cults, yeah. If you don't know, World Links, which... hang on, I need water. Okay, World Links. Those are those really long events that I complain about in my second hot takes video. And if you pull for those gachas, you get a limited outfit, but no special hair. Instead, usually that's what limited outfits give you. The hair, characters will do their hair differently. And that's kind of a big pull to the limited aspect of it. Okay, but the World Link cards don't get you that. Instead, they give you a little extra little bit in that will appear in a 3D music video. For the first World Links, it was all the same music video. Like, you know, you pull for Akito or Toya, who are both in Vivid Bad Squad, and whoever you have, like, in front, like, of your team, a special little bit will play where, let's pretend you chose Akito. Akito, like, walks onto stage, and, before the song starts, and then, you know, the normal 3D MV begins. In the second World Link, they all got different songs, so instead of Akito and Toya both, you know, sharing that same song that they would, like, walk out on and have a little moment of, instead it's, like, them specific songs that would get it, which was good, but, in the long run, I don't like them. I think they're goofy and annoying, and, like, they ruin the flow of, even though, you know, they just show up at the beginning, but I don't like them. It's why I don't rank them in my, my 3D rankings. I think they're clunky and goofy and dumb. I put them all in F. They bottom out my tier list, if anything. Because I just don't like them. They're actively dissuade me from pulling for World Link cards. So, yeah, I don't like them. I just think they're clunky and goofy and bad. So, you know, it is what it is. Project Sekai stream with special guest Twiins Inc. QnA, yeah. It always comes back around. Eventually you guys are gonna start being like, fine, I guess I'll listen to the Vocaloid music. I'll go and talk about it enough that some of you are gonna be like, fine, I'll download the game, damn it. Great question though, really fun. Next up, a bit of a, okay. So, it's a long question, but that's okay. The Space Cowboy, oh, I wonder if you're a Cowboy Bebop fan. Okay, I have a question. I've been drawing for about a month now, good job. And since I still need help with understanding certain techniques, I've been wondering if you could possibly try making videos where you show us, your knowledge and teach us or me, I don't care, how to do stuff like, or I don't know, yeah. Teach us how to do stuff like proper body proportions, how to properly draw faces, dynamic poses, color theory. You could even make it a fun series. And I don't know if I'll make it a fun series. I don't know if I'm good enough at all the different elements in art to teach all of them super well. Certainly not as in-depthly as color theory, which I actually already have a color theory video that I'm working on. So keep your eyes peeled for that. I've got some other things I want to do first, so it'll take me some time. But yeah, I want to talk about color theory, but I don't think I'm good enough at everything else to like properly educate you. However, I implore you to check out my art streams. I know it sounds like I'm just plugging my Twitch, but I do talk about art as I'm working on it, and that is sort of the best way to, goodbye, Empress. Adios. Io. Return to my torment nexus. Damn. We'll have fun in that. But yeah, if you check out my art streams, I talk about art as I make it, and I think that's the most efficient way to get to hear my thoughts, and also get to ask questions, because I don't mind pausing whatever it is I'm working on to explain something in an art process, even though I'm not that good at it. So yeah. Yes and no. I've got a script ready for me to read out for color theory, but everything else maybe, I just tend to, wander on my conviction and how good I would be at teaching you about things like, faces, considering my faces are more often than not circles at this point. Oh, I've scrolled down. Whoopsies. But that's okay. I think I've said everything I need to say about that previous question. Great question, though. I like talking about art, so I'm not fully opposed to it. I just need to get good. But yeah, Caleb Wright asks, have you seen Dragon Ball Daima? And what are your favorite Dragon Ball characters? I have not seen Daima. I know Allison has. So I've learned some stuff about it by kind of looking over her shoulder and talking to her about it. I watched Dragon Ball Super Hero, though. That was great. That was super duper. I didn't even mean that as a joke. Yeah, I wouldn't mind watching Daima. I just don't watch that much anime. I've got a list of anime I want to watch. And usually I watch one anime a year around Christmas time because I take time off from work and I actually just have free time to sit there and not work on something. Favorite Dragon Ball characters? You've unlocked a rabbit hole, my friend. Favorite Dragon Ball characters equals Twiins' husbands, who include Piccolo, Vegeta, Tien Shinhan. I do like Goku, he is fun. Bardock. Those are the main ones, I suppose. Goku's not a husband, though. He's just a good guy. We all like Goku. But yeah, I think those ones, Piccolo, Vegeta, Tien Shinhan, Bardock, are my favorites because they're handsome. But Broly, new movie Broly, is fun. Old Broly is stupid. Old Broly was always stupid. What's it, Android 16? No. Well, yes, I do love Android 16. But also Android, the one with the hat, from that one movie. I don't remember what number he was. 21? He's fun too. What's the small boy's name? What's the little boy's name? Allison, you know him. You know who I'm talking about. Golly. So Daima, is on an open tab on computer right now. Piccolo does deserve to find love. It is 13 I'm thinking of. I'm glad you knew. Hercule, I cherish Hercule. I want to grow up to be like Hercule. So I've seen one episode of Dragon Ball in a hotel. Dragon Ball is such good hotel anime. Chiaotzu, no. It's not Chaozu. It's the other one. Who's the cute? He's like a native boy. He's from Dragon Ball, not Dragon Ball Z. You know, you're at a hotel. Oopa! Oob is also really good. Oopa and Oob, look them up. They're fun. But yeah, you know, you're at a hotel. You kind of have nothing better to do, and it's like, well, yeah, because all the fun stuff doesn't start till tomorrow. So I guess I'll watch an anime. Dragon Ball's on. I don't need to know. This is episode 300. I don't really need to know what's going on in order to appreciate the cool punch. So yeah, I like a lot of characters in Dragon Ball. They're all pretty dang likable. So yeah. Yippee! Great question, because it's not often I get to talk about Dragon Ball, because there's not often something to talk about. Other than Twiins is thirsty. What a surprise. Surge, our very own Super Surge, asks, congratulations, thank you. If you had every type of chips available to you, what's the first one you would choose instantly? Every single chip, across all time and space. I choose default Ruffles. I don't like flavored chips. Don't give me barbecue chips. Don't give me Doritos. Don't give me Cheetos. Don't give me salt and vinegar. Yuck. I like Lay's and Ruffles, and I like them default because I'm boring. I will say, in the world of Cheetos, the white cheese. The puffy white cheese ones, we call them cocaine. We call them cocaine Cheetos, because they're delicious. White cheddar, yum yum. Yep, white cheddar Cheetos, puffy versions are fun and good. I like those too. But I just prefer default chips. I'm boring. And for all the Brits in chat, chips over here, you call crisps. So my favorite crisps are Ruffles and Lay's. Chips, to you guys, are what we call French fries. I don't know why the fuck anyone chose to do that. Do you like Sun Chips? I can appreciate a Sun Chip. They're awfully loud. You bite into a Sun Chip and just... You have to pause whatever it is you're watching, because yeah, I feel like you're watching TV or a video or something. It's like, I can't hear. I'm chewing a Sun Chip. But yeah, they're swell. They feel healthy, even though they're not. In the year 2025, the Holy War began. Twitch streamer Twiins said, I don't like flavored chips. Little did she know the chain reaction she had caused. Me and all the devils can sit here eating our boring chips. Because we like it like this. Always love that when people say crisps, they go pss pss. Crisps pss pss. I can barely say those words anyway. Damn, you're right, I never realized. No flavors for fallen angels. Listen, there's a hilarious joke in there somewhere about liking my food boring because it's the opposite of you know, sex or something, but I'm not eloquent enough to make a good joke like that. Oh, but yeah, I like boring chips. Next up, this is from Thank You NF5. This is a Project Sekai fan. Can you tell? Their profile picture is also either Mizuki. I think that's Mizuki. Thank you for being here. Thank you, NF5. Congratulations! What's your favorite type of video to make? This is a tough one because I only make videos I like. You know? Hi! Welcome! Pen the Chili! You're a name I recognize. I feel like I haven't seen you in a second. Welcome. Come on in. Talking about videos and what's my favorite type of video to make. And yeah, like I said, it's tough because I only make videos I like. I don't want to waste my time making a video I don't like. But of all of them, I think my favorite type of videos to make are ranking videos, whether that be ranking like gym leader designs or 3D MVs or, you know, top 10 favorite songs from Project Sekai or what have you. I've liked watching videos. I grew up watching PBG do top 10 scariest video games, you know, stuff like that. Top 10 this, top 10 that. Everything was a top 10. And And I still like watching them. I like watching them, and I like making them, because making them feels so easy. Because, you know, you share some succinct thoughts, and then about one thing, and then you move on to your next thing. And without having to, like, extrapolate too much. It's easy to discuss, to make my discussions in ranked videos, because I don't need to be overly verbose or anything. And so yeah, I think they're also pretty easy to edit too. So yeah. But they don't do super duper well. They don't do poorly. But, yeah, I think they gotta be a rare treato. But it's not like I dislike other videos I make. Like I said, I only make videos I like. Because I don't wanna... If something sounds boring, then I'm like, well, I don't wanna do that. So I don't. I have to do everything. I am the writer, editor, voice, the ideas guy, producer, director... I gotta do it all. So I cannot allow myself the time to waste on videos that I am unplussed with. Ew, I got my limited edition holiday flavor turkey dinner flavored chips. That sounds so bad, actually. I hope you like them. No, Allison's not the idea guy. Allison's just the one that says things smart and good. So then I take those for my ideas. Ranking videos are cool. I believe your video ranking Magical Girl Raising Design project was the first video of yours I saw. That's a good one, too. Sometimes, every now and then, I still get comments on that. And I think they've got a new season of the anime happening, so I might do that again, because I like talking about magical girls. That means I gotta actually watch it, but hell yeah. I'd do that in a heartbeat. Be able to make a ranking video for that series that looks good, actually, because, I don't know, I think that video wears its age a little bit. You can tell that it's a bit earlier in my YouTube making life. Next up, from MCatQueen646. Congratulations on this milestone. You deserve it. I love your videos a lot. Thank you. Here's a question for fun. If you could have IRL an article of clothing or outfit that any of the Project Sekai characters wear, which one would you want? Me personally, I love Ann's blue jacket. Ann's blue jacket is pretty fly. I choose Enna's casual outfit, first edition. Cause I love outfits. And Enna's, oh my god, it's so cute. That skirt especially. I want that. That is a cute skirt. I like outfits. I like Lolita outfits. They are cute and fun, and I like that they are frilly and cute and good. So I choose that one. A really cool outfit right there. And what a fun little question. So everyone, you gotta draw me in that, but instead of a pink shirt, you gotta make it purple. It's the law. You have to draw me. 10 out of 10 question. Next up from Cruz Mochizuki. Congratulations to you on your 30K milestone. Thank you. I wanted to ask if there were any other games that you wanted to try, and what are they? Also, how do you feel about your Project Sekai content, or your content as a whole, that you post online? I'm really proud of the content I post. I always am. Like I said, I only make videos I like, and so, by virtue of it, I'm proud of everything. And especially my Project Sekai stuff, I don't feel like I'm part of the community. Howdy, the Space Cowboy! Welcome, we already read your question just a second ago, but welcome here. Thanks for being here. Which one was your question again? Hang on, let me wander backwards, see if I could find you real quick. I can't remember what your profile picture looked like, though. Oh, no. That's not you. That's not you. There you are. Yes, I had mentioned, welcome, you're here. I had mentioned, that, I'm already got a video in the works for color theory. I'm not super confident in my ability to teach you about the other things you talk about here, at least for right now, perhaps in the future, but I implore you to check out my art streams, because I talk about art while I'm working on it, and I'm always willing to answer questions while I'm streaming. So yeah, there you go. There's the answer for you. So thanks for being here. I appreciate it. So yeah, I'm proud of my Project Sekai content. I don't feel like I'm part of the community. If there's a community, I don't think people don't go, oh yeah, that Project Sekai tuber, Twiins Inc. Which is why it's so surprising to me to see so many Project Sekai related questions on my 30k subscribers video here. Even even just looking at the profile pictures, I'm seeing a lot of Project Sekai characters, and it's fun. Because I am really proud of the content I make in general. I like everything that I produce, and I'm proud of it. What was the first half of their question here? It was, are there any other games I want to try, and what are they? And I don't think so. Like, there's, you know, games I've got in my radar, but nothing quite like as, like, oh, I'm really, really excited to try that one. I tend to, like, very suddenly shift and go, I want to play that, and then I get it. So if there's something I want to try really bad, I usually pick it up, like, kind of as quickly as I can. So I don't think so. I don't think there's anything in my periffs that I'm hoping to get into that isn't just sort of a passing interest. Like, oh, that seems fun. I think I want to watch that. I'll check it out. Thank you. I'm a big fan of you and Allison. Oh, thanks a million. I appreciate you being here. And I hope you have fun in your artistic adventure. You said you've been drawing for a month. And the beginning is the funnest part because you get to learn so quickly. You learn a lot really quickly while you're doing art, so I hope you have fun. That's always the #1 thing you need to remember. Above all else, you should be having fun. If you're not having fun, you're not doing art right. So, I hope you have fun. I like everything that I produce. Twiins, ever modest. I have to like everything I produce. I'm the most consistent YouTuber I watch. Next up from, oh boy, a name that I'm gonna struggle to read here. Wahajider. That's a grimace that I just did in my complete. I recognize their profile picture too. I see them pretty regularly. I suck at reading. Congrats on making it to 30k. Thank you. So my questions would be: 1, which video did you love making the most? 2, which one did you hate making the most? 3, will you ever have podcasts with Critter and Allison again? I miss watching you 3 talk about stuff. You can pick from any of these because I did request one question that they didn't seem to notice. I made hot coffee. If you need to fight off the fog frog, I'll think about it. You made it! Welcome, Ruthie. And we haven't gotten to your question yet either, so yippee. I'm gonna still look at all these questions anyway. Favorite video I loved making the most? Becoming a Magical Girl in Pokemon Violet, because I was so proud of all the work I did. The video I hated making the most, Becoming a Magical Girl in Pokemon Violet, because it was so long and arduous. No, actually, I remember really struggle busing with, a month in Animal Crossing. I think that one was actually, like, just a lot went wrong, in the back end of that, which you don't really get to see if you just watch the video, but I say it kind of during the end credits. So, yeah, one of those ones. I'm not planning on doing any podcasts. Sometimes I think about, I don't mind chit-chatting with Critter and Allison, but I think I just prefer doing it, casually. Like, not on camera. I wouldn't hate it. I just don't know if there's anything the 3 of us want to talk about pretty, like, consistently. There's a part of me that wants to make a podcast with Allison called Tea Time, and it's just an excuse for us to have tea parties and drink tea, while we chit-chat about not even, like, hot goss, you know? Hot gossip, aka tea, but, I don't want to. So, yeah, that's kind of, the long and short of it. Yeah, but above all else, making the Magical Girl Violet video has dominated my life for like a year and a half, so it kind of trumps everything in terms of my headspace on video production. At least for right now. Until maybe next year, maybe I'll have calmed down on it, but I'm still like, it's just was so much of my life for so long. I keep keep wanting to make one with you or all three of us, but I'm bad at committing, lol. We be busy. We do be busy goyles. Eventually, we'll be less busy. I can only hope. But what a great question. I'm back. Hope I didn't miss Twiins figuring out the secrets of the universe. Nah. Well, yeah, you did a little bit, but then I forgot it all, so it's fine. I figured it out, but I'll have to rewatch the VOD to see if inspiration can strike again. Next up, from Jiroji Takumaku, that's a name I recognize. When I first discovered you, through your Ruby vids, I didn't thought of it much, but man, I freaking love your stuff. Congrats on 30K. Thank you! Anyway, for my question, and it's a very specific one. Will you still make more Pokemon X Magical Girl Let's Plays? If so, will you ever stream it or make a comic/story just like your other comics? Again, congrats on the milestone. Thanks a million! So yeah, absolutely gonna make more Magical Girl Pokemon videos. I think they're so much fun. You know, despite all the, all the effort, yeah, I keep doing it because I enjoy it. I don't think I would stream them though, because it's just different. It's a different mindset, being on stream versus recording on my own. And I like being able to control the flow of the narrative and think about everything, because when I'm streaming, I'm engaging with chat a lot, you know? But the, what's it? But, so when I'm recording by myself, I can kind of fiddle around a lot more, figure out what I'm doing, and be aware of how a narrative is forming while I am recording, you know? So, yeah, I don't think I'd stream them, but yeah. Really fun, dang cool question. No, I wouldn't make comics either, just because making comics takes a long time. I'm already, like, I'm struggling to keep up with the 2 comics I've got, Grim Magic and, As the Sky Falls. But, what am I saying? So yeah, I want to make comics for them, because I think the video itself is enough of a narrative, personally. But I think it'd be really fun to see them in comic formation. Yeah. That's the answer. No, it'd be cool, but I'm just too busy. So that's why I work so hard on the video being a consistent narrative, instead, you know? I have an old friend who studied that as well. Oh, you guys are ignoring me, talking about Allison's degree in dental hygiene and how hard it is. And we're all very proud of her. Sorry, lol. It'd be cool if you did post game stuff, like battle facilities on stream. Oh, I don't do that shit. That's the problem. Sometimes I think about like uploading like a master kind of upload of just like my whole recording, and then I'm like, no, that'd be really fucking boring, so I don't. And I think that's the thing. Some people, they go, I want to see that really long version, and then actually you don't. It's actually really boring and long. The YouTuber knows what they're doing when they trim the fat. I am just slow today. Like, really slow. That's okay. But yeah, 10 out of 10 question. Yeah, I'm really excited. I do want to make another Magical Girl. I'm worried. I don't think I can do it in time for Magical Girl May again, and I think I ought to just start approaching them as videos and not Magical Girl May specifically. I worry. I think I don't want to do Magical Girl May anymore as like a thing, because I put a lot of effort into Magical Girl May for like no real reward. You know, like I plan out all this really fun stuff and do all these things, and then I don't even like see good numbers come out of it. And you know, it's fun, but it's like I can just talk about Magical Girls all the time. I don't need to wait for May, you know? I think Magical Girl May was only so successful that first year because all 3 of us did videos and then linked to each other. Cause it games the system. YouTube recognizes people are traveling between videos, and so they want you to do that. They want you to stay on YouTube. And so if you link a video then YouTube wants to recommend your video because it's keeping people on the platform linking to other people's videos. And I think that's the only reason why it was so successful that first year, because we all made videos and linked to each other, and so YouTube was, circling between the three of us. And following years have all seen decreasing dividends. And so I like Magical Girls, and I like Magical Girl May, but yeah. I think I just make videos and present them when they're ready instead. Panda Chili. Stop with... Panda Chili, could you please be on topic? Please. You did this last time too on stream. Sigh. Oh, here's an opinion. My eyes! You're distracting. Stay on topic, please. You're being rude. You feel free to keep chit-chatting, but you're just jumping in to get attention, like how you're doing. You're being inappropriate, Please be on... Yeah, I just gave a whole interesting answer to a very nice question from somebody, and I see chat going, "Why? What's wrong with your eyes?" You are being rude. Please stop just sending out chats for attention. Engage with chat. That's what I'm doing. I'm sitting here reading you guys. We're talking. We're discussing right now. And you are not. You want everyone to talk about you. And I need you all to focus a little bit. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm live on stream right now. I'm not just talking to hear the sound of my own voice. I can do that all day. I'm here with you guys. And this only works if you guys are willing to engage with me. Do you understand? So, keep up a fun, good discourse that is on topic, please. I don't like being mean teacher twins, waggling my finger, but I think it became clear that something needed to be said. Okay? So, please feel free to join the conversation, as long as you're actually joining the conversation. Yeah, it was fun for the first year, but not as a content creator. But as a not content creator. It has been stressful. Yeah, it can be a lot. It can be a lot to, plan a whole month of stuff. It's why PBG doesn't do, Zelda month anymore. Also because he's a busy guy. He doesn't need to, and what Zelda month? He's talked about Zelda to death, Oh my god. But yeah, I like Magical Girl May, but unless Critter and I plan some kind of, we're both doing something, go check out her video, and we link to each other, I just don't think it's worth all the effort when I can just talk about magical girls all the time. I would say my favorite type of anime or manga really is shonen. I just like seeing people beat people up. Yeah, but magical girls can fall into shonen. I think the lines between shonen and shoujo are a lot blurrier than people let themselves believe, But I do also tend to like shonen. I like good stories. Next up, from someone boring AF, I love this username, by the way. Congratulations, thank you. My question is, who is your favorite virtual singer besides the main six? That's right, motherfuckers. We're back to talking about Vocaloids. So, yeah. I've got actually 2 panels for this one, because I figured visuals would be useful. So, first up is my Synth V answers, because here's the actual long and short of it. I like Vocaloids specifically, actually brand Vocaloids virtual singers. I like plenty of them but they're not my favorites outside of the main 6 we all know. So this is my Synth V selection. I do like Teto. I was pretty neutral on Teto. I think she's got a very pretty voice. But I think this past year, I've really come around to really appreciating Teto, especially with our summer Teto event that we all did together. I think that was really fun. And I really like Eleanor. Eleanor feels finally like an English-speaking vocal synth that is accessible and likable. She's the closest thing we have to English Miku. And she can be really hard to tune properly, but when it's done right, it's done really right. And so I really like her too. This one, you probably don't recognize him. This is Noah, N-O-A, Hex Noah. And I just really like his voice. I check out Audiolodge, it's the company that owns that character, pretty regularly. Because they produce songs that are really fun and cool, and I like them. And his voice is one of my favorites. I think they're really dang fly. Twiins, who recently learned girls and non-boys actually follow her, is being surprised that Project Sekai fans actually follow her. I'm more surprised Pikachu faces at 11. So yeah, I was like, honestly, I was going to do Summer Eleanor instead of Summer Teto. But then I was like, I should do Teto instead. Her color palette is so summery. It's just the smart. She's more popular. It's the smarter choice. I'm glad I did, because I feel like it's allowed me to appreciate Teto even more. And she's real dang fun. I listened to a pretty dark Vocaloid named Secrets of Wistery. I never heard of this. Do not look it up. Okay, well, why bring it up then? I did not know Teto got outfit update. Yeah, till the summer Teto contest results. Yeah, that was a while ago. She got an outfit update. That was when because she wasn't Utao, which is basically a free thing. But yeah, she got into Synth V, which is a different company, ? And they gave her an update, which is pretty dang fly. But on the topic of Utaos, you all might remember, don't mind the fact that Killy here, that's the first one. I could only get Killy in a non-transparent PNG. But y'all might remember that there was a time where I did Utao covers, and I quite like Utao a lot. And my favorite Utao are Killy here, who is incredibly unpopular, but I really liked him. If I were better at using Utao, I would have used him more. And Ruko. Ruko has both a male and female voice bank, and I like both of them plenty, but I do prefer the male one. I think it's really, really swell. Shu over there has one of my favorite covers of Rolling Girl, and he's just got so much power behind his voice bank, which is really nice. And then Raseton, which is another very kind of niche one, not super popular, but I really like how airy his vocals are. And I think if done well, it lends to a very unique, cool sound. So yeah, I like all my favorites. I like them because they sound good, you know? And yeah, shout out to the Utaos. I wish that they got more love. Utao is hard to work with though. So many handsome men. I know, right? Oh, so Eleanor Forte is on the ballot for next year's contest then. Interesting. Well, we'll think about it. Killy, that's his name. Yeah, just knows they look better with white. Can't blame them. Listen, he would have blended in with the background a little bit otherwise. But yeah, it's why I had to put him way over there so that he didn't disrupt the flow of the background too much. At Twiins stream, there's a 60% chance of a handsome man. Only 60? Thought it'd be higher. You know, it's like a 65 to 70. So, great question. Yeah, it's not often we gotta talk about the, you know, not Miku, Rin, Len, Mako, Luca, Kaito, you know, crew. And, I think there's lots of voice banks that are, still pretty, underground, for lack of a better word, that I think deserve a lot of love and appreciation themselves. Next up, Cybercritic, 8834. Do you like how sometimes I read the numbers and sometimes I don't? Congrats on the milestone, Twiins. Thank you. Has there ever been a game, movie, or a TV show that's made you both love and hated? And are there any series you've wanted to try to get into but haven't? Could be a book, movie, or game. No, I don't think there's a series that, if I want to get into something, I do to some degree, you know? So I don't think there's any that, like, have been, like, I've been eyeing up but haven't gotten into, because I'm very much willing to look up things if I'm interested in something. But, I honestly, I usually either just love or hate something. I'm not really one for loving and hating. But I honestly, I think the answer's gotta be Ruby. You don't make, what, like 7 years worth of videos reviewing and discussing a show if you don't love it. Even though so much of me was disappointed in it. I ended up hating it. I do hate Ruby these days. And I that's a bummer, because I can recall a time when I loved it so much. And yeah, true frustration comes from loving very flawed things. Exactly. And Ruby is the only thing that has had me so torn like that. So I think it's gotta be the answer. Crummy old Ruby. What a shame that at this point, really, it's the biggest thing is the community. Every time I sit there and think, maybe I could let myself think about Ruby a little bit more. Something happens where the community is just horrible to somebody. Either to some other content creator, to Critter specifically. I catch strays and it's like, I don't even watch the show anymore. Why are you still mad at me? So genuinely, weird people hating on others for their opinions of the show, whether those opinions be good or bad. It just pisses me off, and I go, yeah, nah, fuck that show. And every single time I ever think about re-engaging with Ruby, the community does something toxic and keeps pushing me away. And as long as that keeps happening, it's just how it is. And it's dead anyway, so really, who cares? But great question. The Floof artist asks, congrats on 30K, thank you. Since Helicoprion, that's why I recognize the name! I was like, why do I recognize this name? It's because Floof mentions them. They already asked about which of your character designs you've done is your favorite, so I'll ask a different one. What are your favorite and least favorite Banjo-Kazooie/Tooie songs? Congratulations, Floof, on asking the hardest question. Oh my god. I had to re-listen to all the songs. I had to just completely listen to both soundtracks to figure out what my favorite and least favorite songs are from both games, because I did both games, because you asked, because I like both of them. So thanks a million. I love that somebody knows that I care about Banjo this much. Okay, so my favorite song from Banjo-Kazooie, this might be an upset, it's Rusty Bucket Bay. It almost was Mad Monster Mansion, but Mad Monster Mansion is waiting for a very, very good crescendo. Rusty Bucket Bay, it's just a banger from start to finish. I love the fucking horns and the tanker noises, and it's such a fun and frustrating level at the same time, and the music, it definitely adds to it, that it's like, it's hard to be too mad when you're outside the boat. It almost feels like the horns and bells and whistles are laughing at you, and I cherish it. I think it's so fun. My least favorite song from Banjo-Kazooie is Clanker's Cavern. And the problem is, I'm like, how does Clanker's Cavern go? It's a tough one. It's the least catchy, I think. If you heard it, you'd be like, oh yeah, that's Clanker. Yeah, it's just kind of low-key. A little low-key, a little kind of, drony. But still obviously banger. I cherish everything Grant Kirk... Oh! I just bumped my mic. I cherish everything Grant Kirkhope does. But yeah, Clanker's my least favorite from Banjo-Kazooie. It's good and memorable, and it sounds good on a loop. It does. That's the big thing. You can't have a BGM that's like this part again. Me screaming about Majora's Mask. Flashbacks. Good on you for listening to both soundtracks to answer this completely. I take answering music questions very seriously. In Banjo-Tooie, my favorite one is Glitter Gulch Mine. It was close. It was almost Hailfire Peaks Fireside. Hailfire Peaks, the both sides, they like share a melody, like a theme, but with different instruments, and I just like the Fireside's instrumentation better. I like that it's like big meaty horns, but Glitter Gulch Mine it's got such perfect sound. Like, it's a lot of the soundtrack in Tooie is pretty similar. It's a lot of kind of watery, which is fascinating, watery, kind of dank sounding music levels. But Glitter Gulch Mine, it sounds like it's country. You're in a mine. It's plonky in a good way. I do also really like Witchy World's theme, which is one of the very few that's actually in 3/4 time, but it's too slow. Like, you can't just sit there and listen to Witchy World. But I think it's my favorite level, so obviously I like that song a lot too. Meanwhile, my least favorite Banjo-Tooie song is from Pterodactyl Land, which is, it's similarly kind of monotonous. It's a little droning. It's really low key. It's sort of just like a vague melody punctuated by what's implied to be dinosaur cries and such. And it's just kind of boring. It's the most boring one, and it doesn't help that you're stuck listening to it for goddamn ever, because Pterodactyl Land is when you get to the point in Banjo-Tooie where levels become humongous. It is going to take you quite a long time to finish a level, and Pterodactyl Land's music just does not help. It's too much. What a surprisingly scary design, by the way. Like, without the rareware googly eyes, Clanker is so extra. Clanker is extra. He scared us a lot as children, but we liked to make the characters talk. And we gave him a cute, like, oh, Clanker, I just wanna be your friend kind of voice. And it made us like him a whole lot. Critter and I, growing up. Now you gotta explain dank sounding Twiins. How does something sound like mold? By being a loud instrument played softly at a low register. You see what I mean? Brass, but low key. You understand? That's a good answer. Thank you. I'm proud of that answer. 10 out of 10 question. Love that. Chorizord. Sorry, Chorizord. I recognize your profile picture. I've just never read your name before. That it's like chorizo, but Charizard. Chorizord. What do you think of Incineroar? I think Incineroar is the strongest Pokemon in the game. That's a Wolfie Glick reference. But anyway, actually, I like Incineroar a lot. I think Incineroar, it's one of my favorite starters, and it shouldn't be a surprise. Linton is a little black cat, and obviously I like cats. And it's a fire type, and I like fire types a lot too. And then, it becomes a handsome man-coated big tiger cat. It's a wrestling heel, so it means it's a fire dark type because heels are the bad guys. But it makes it like secretly a fighting type, and I like fighting types, so it's just like one of the best starters if you ask me. 10 out of 10. I really like it. I'm glad that it made its way into Smash, even though I am so bad playing Incineroar in Smash Bros. I can't. I wish I was good. I watch gameplay of people being good, and it's like, I want to be able to do that, and I can't. Yeah, all the things I like for real. It's like, it's my hole. It was made for me, you know? Great question. And what a fun username. Overhypin', I recognize you. Hello. Congrats, Twiins, you deserve it. Thank you. My question is, how do you deal with art block and burnout? This is a tough one because I don't really get art block. I've got so many projects I'm working on. If I'm burning out on one thing, I can just work on another thing. But I remember back in the day when I had more of this. So burnout, first of all, the only solution for burnout is stop. You just gotta stop. Gotta relax. Don't think about it. Just walk away. Stop. Do something else. Don't even do different art. If you're experiencing burnout, then play a video game. You know? Yeah, go play a video game. Go watch a movie. Get some sleep. Come back tomorrow. And then you'll be okay. But art block, I don't experience very often. Because I've got so many projects. I can always cycle what I'm working on. And I've always got so many dang ideas. But back in the day when I had art block, step one, don't sweat it. You know, I want to draw, but I don't know what to draw. That's okay. So just, you know, I'd start off with like a scribble. Kind of nothing too grand. Just getting something on the paper. So even something ugly. Just a little doodle, a little scribble. can perhaps kickstart an idea. Otherwise, things that break art blocks for me the most is other people's art, whether that be music, or reading a manga, or watching an anime, you know, or watching a show, like a live action show. These are all art. And so sometimes all you gotta do is be like, I'm gonna go look at other people's stuff. And it can kind of get the fire going too. So the biggest thing is just don't force anything. And spend your free time appreciating art. And it'll help keep your artistic juices ever flowing. Like a successful heart pumping blood. Her horns are covering you like Mike Wazowski. There you are. Get sleep is the hardest part. So yeah, great question. I'm sorry I can't be more useful. The big answer is I listen to a lot of music. That's how I used to get a lot of my ideas. I would play Project Diva. I would play Project Sekai. I get a lot of ideas playing rhythm games. So maybe that's just the secret to it all. Next up, Orion Plume, or Orion Lupin. I don't know if that's the same Orion. We've gotten chat pretty consistently, but Orion says thanks. Congrats on 30k, twins. You've earned it. Thank you. You're an absolute joy to watch. Oh golly. If you had the opportunity to make an animated series, what would it be? Thank you for being a great inspiration, twins, and keep on keeping on. Oh golly. What a nice comment that was. That was so friendly. If I had the opportunity to make an animated series, thanks in advance. You're welcome. Or for the advice. You're still welcome. It would be As the Sky Falls. Obviously it's my own thing I would choose. It's As the Sky Falls. I think it would be so cool animated. So yeah, it's that one. If I'm choosing not my thing, what like other thing I think could be cool, as an animated series that isn't one already? That's a tough one, because I just thought about As the Sky Falls. Then, yeah, I've always thought an animated version of Doki Doki Literature Club could be cool, but you have to kind of reinvent everything. It doesn't work. Like, you can't just adapt Doki Doki Literature Club exactly, because it relies on player character being an actual character in canon, but a Doki Doki Literature Club kind of spin-off thing where kind of like Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, where it's the same characters, the same type of story, but it's still playing with that fourth wall breaking horror, but in a new way. I think it could be cool. So yeah, those are my answers. I agree. I feel like a lot of people would want Grim Magic, but As the Sky Falls would be so pretty animated. It really would be. And I don't know, I think I'm better at making Grim Magic than As the Sky Falls. So it succeeds as a comic better. I'm getting better with As the Sky Falls, but Grim Magic, I mean, it's easier, isn't it? As the Sky Falls is a lot headier and a lot more narratively driven. So obviously it's harder. But yeah, I think as animated, it would really benefit from motion, especially since I'm not that good at realistic fights. I'm not even all that good at magical girl fights. In my magical girl stories, half the time they just point at each other and shoot a laser, I'm not very good at fight choreography, and there is a level of action in As the Sky Falls that I worry I'm pretty bad at it. I'm there's gonna be more in it deeper on, but I think somebody who really knows what they're doing, like a real choreographer, could like really zhuzh it up. Think about it like Demon Slayer or Land of the Lustrous, where I think Demon Slayer's fights are really fun, but goddamn, Ufotable cranks them up to 11, and Land of the Lustrous fights are fascinating. I think it's really interesting how her fights have changed over the years, where she started out approaching fights in a similar way to a lot of people. Quick panels, small panels, quick motions. But as time has gone on, fights in Land of the Lustrous are more often than not, like, just huge panels. One big motion. They end up reading very quickly, like, fights happen really fast, but I feel like they're more impactful than they used to be. But the anime, the fights, you know, with the motion, being able to read the movement so easily adds a lot to them. So I think about it like that, where, you know, whether or not you think I'm good at fight choreo or not, I think in motion, they could be much easier read and be expanded upon a lot more successfully too. I don't know, isn't that fascinating? I think it's really fun. I mean, you've seen how Demon Slayer started out manga-wise. Working through those rough points will only make you stronger. Exactly. No one is happy with how their story starts. The problem is, people fall into the trap of going, now I'm gonna restart it now that I'm good at what I'm doing now. Because you don't want to. You do not actually want to restart it. You just wish that the beginning looked good, and you just have to accept that it doesn't. Every single time I've seen someone restart, like, I'm 400 chapters in, I'm gonna start again so that it looks good, and I've got some plot points actually, like, hammered out successfully from the start. Don't. No one ever finishes. That's the thing. That's how you kill your own story, by trying to start over. Just accept that it looks bad, and charge forward. Yeah, that does apply to writing. Everything. It is bad, and then you keep going, and you just accept that it was bad. Great question. Really swell. Tails for Fox! They were here in chat earlier. That was Boblets. Congrats on 30K. I've only been in the community for a short while, but watching all the videos has been awesome, and I'm glad to be a part of the community. Thank you! Silly question, but which came first, the chicken or the egg? Lamau! I think surely it's the chicken. Whether or not you believe in some deity crafting life, or a big bang accidentally making science go just right, everything starts as a cell, as an organism, as some little microbe. And that has to become sentient before anything else. And so the chicken must have come first, to some level of a degree. It had to be born as chicken before it could be considered anything further. I think chicken had to come first. And then the egg. Dinosaurs had eggs and dinosaurs evolved into chickens, duh. You know what? Stereotype Gamer makes an excellent point. So much so that I might rescind my answer. I'm like, life starts with a heartbeat. Surely. And so it must be chicken. But that excludes the concept of, but egg starts with the exiting of a cloaca. And, you know, I hadn't considered the dinosaur cloaca. I think you're correct. I fall back on my answer. I was wrong. Chad is correct. The sprinkles know the truth. There was an egg. And it became chicken. You're right. You're so right. Chicken v egg is a misleading question, but I believe egg is the prior organism must have mutated to a new type, which was chicken. Yeah, Allison says it in a lot less grandiose way, but more succinctly. So yeah, you're all right. It's definitely the chicken came second to the egg. This is why I rely on you guys to remember things for me. Next up, from a stereotypical gamer, we know Stereotype Gamer, why do fools fall in love? And you know what's funny? I feel like I remember you asking this in chat previously, but maybe it was Genital War Thunder. Why do fools fall in love? Because love is not beholden to logic. Because love, you don't need to be smart to fall in love. You fall in love because you have a heart, not because you have a brain. That's why we all like Scarecrow the best. from The Wizard of Oz. But yeah, it's because, like I said, love is not beholden to logic. And so whether you're a genius or a fool, you are doomed to fall in love. And hey, whether that love be a romantic love with a partner or, golly, I just love this food. I love eating food. Love is love, no matter what. And love comes in a lot of different forms. I think a lot of people deprive themselves of friendship love, of love at a friendship level. I think a lot of people exclusively allow themselves to see love as romantic, as sexual. And I think it's foolhardy to not recognize that love can be familial, and that familial love can extend to friends. That you can love your friends is so important, and I think people need to allow themselves to love their friends. because love is good. Love is amazing. People loving each other is a good thing, and it doesn't have to just be in pursuit of sex or romance. I think love is just, it's just how you feel about somebody, and allowing yourself to love somebody, and without the caveat of romance, of pushing that relationship further, is important. But now we're getting awfully heady, so we'll leave it there. I'll get up down from my very tall soapbox. Love food. Points at screen. That's me. Yeah. Love is an invention by bank managers to make us overdrawn. That there's a romantic, poetic sentence in there somewhere. My pesky bee is showing. We'll move on. Great question though. The whatever 314. Congratulations on 30K. Thank you. My question would be, what got you into streaming on Twitch? Congratulations again. You've earned this. Oh golly. Thanks a million. This is a hard question because I don't really remember. I think just like with the rest of the world, I was taken with VTubers. We all saw a clip of QnA from HoloLive going ekum bokum, and we all fell down a rabbit hole of VTubing. And I thought it was so fun and cool. And like so often, I sit there and think, that looks fun, I wish I was doing that. How often I think, oh boy, these YouTubers or whatever, they seem so fun and funny. I wish I was part of them. Listen, I'll admit it, I wanted to join the achievement hunters, and just like as always, I see all these VTubers having fun, and I go, I want to be friends with them. I wish I was doing that too. And so I recognize the only way I'm going to, theoretically, join these VTubers is by becoming one. And that meant streaming. And that was scary at first, and that's why I wanted to just start small. I just started with shiny hunting with you guys, to see how I felt about it. But I really liked it. And I think that's what it was. It started as a very, selfish concept of wanting to become successful enough as a streamer that I could join some big VTuber thing. But as I continued, I just had a lot of fun. If I didn't enjoy it, I would have let go of the idea. But I like streaming, like I said. Like I said, it's fun chatting with you guys. That's why you guys are sprinkles. Like I said, the way you got your names is that I was playing Jack 2. I could play this on my own. But it's more fun with you guys. You don't add anything, necessarily. Nothing, you're just the colorful names over there to the right. But, like sprinkles on ice cream, you make it more fun. And I think that's what it is. So what got me streaming is wanting to have the possibility of becoming friends with all the funny VTubers I like. But what truly kept me here was just really enjoying getting to engage with a community like this. So yeah, a conceited introduction to a heartwarming conclusion. Twiins just emerged from a Twitch-shaped hole one day. Great question though, cause I really had to think about it. I was like, golly, what did get me into streaming? Yeah, being with all you fuckos. Fed Jamron, oh boy, your name becomes way harder to read in the end there. Fed Jam right now, Dick. D-I-C. If you and Judgmental Critter were to cosplay as the Malachi twins from Ruby, who would be who? This one's gonna be short, I gotta be real. I would be the one with long hair, because I like long hair. And Critter would be the one with short hair, because she likes short hair. I do not remember which one is which. Also, if I were to cosplay anybody from Ruby, it would be Yang. But that's besides the point anyway. Great question. I think, yeah, I also like the long-haired one's blue palette better too anyway. So it just works out for me at least. Cute outfits. I wouldn't mind wearing their dresses. Those are cute ass dresses. Ruthie, are you still here? We finally made it to your question. Yes, you are still here. I just read your chat. Congratulations, Twiins. Thank you. What a cute profile picture. Look at that. What a cute little character. I've been thinking on this because I feel like I've already asked so many questions over stream, but here's what I got. What's a topic, theme, or message that resonates with you in media? I think I'm interested in if you have anything that consistently gets you. But if you want to talk about something specific from one story, go ahead. This is such a hard question because it feels a little broad. Not like in a bad way. It forces me to be like, well, man, what is something that always gets me? I think having something that always gets me, but in like a frustrating way, is lovers not getting a happy ending. If two characters fall in love in a story and then one or both of them die before they get to, like, you know, really get to appreciate each other, that I don't like that. It makes me sad. So it gets me, but in like a bad way, you know. But so I've been trying to think about what else is there, what resonates with me, and it's so hard because that forces me to be quite introspective, but in an outward way. I think friendship tends to be the big thing. It's why I like magical girl stories. It's why, like, I like love, you know. I just had a big ol' soapbox moment of talking about love. But I think above all, it's friendship / found families. I think they tend to have narratives that I quite like, and there's a lot that you can do with that. It's the way characters feel about each other that I so often latch onto in stories. And which it sounds like an unsatisfying answer. It feels like I should say something more grand, more thought-provoking, but I like friends, but it's true, and that friendship can be a lot of things. That friendship is, that friendship is something as intense as Fos's relationship with the other Lustrous in Land of the Lustrous, up to the Elric brothers' friendship with Winry and how they all interact with each other. You know, the power of friendship is awesome. People clown on it a lot, and I think it's because people think the power of friendship is someone wishing really hard and that giving someone powers, as if that's any different from giving Goku your energy so he can do a spirit bomb. But the power of friendship is working together. The real power of friendship stories is when, a character can't do it on their own, so all of their friends, grab onto the sword handle with them and help them do it, and it makes your heart go doki doki and you cry. That's the power of friendship. That's why Kaiji affected me so much. I fancy Kaiji Ito, and all the gambles were interesting and fun, but the reason why season 2 I like better is not... The bog, which is the pachinko machine, is objectively less interesting as a threat than his adventures in the hotel. But because his friend's freedom was on the line, I cared so much. And so I think that, the power of friendship is understated and underappreciated, but can do so much for a narrative. So thank you for the meaty question. I really had to sink my teeth into it. So I hope you don't mind me wandering as I come to a shaky conclusion. Thank you for the answer, Twiins. I'm just always interested in learning that kind of stuff about people, but I realize it could be hard to answer. Yeah, I liked getting to think about it. So don't even worry about it. It's why we're all here, so we can get to think about these sorts of things. Next up, from Hashihime TM, favorite cartoon song, it's Shiny Teeth and Me, from Fairly Odd Parents. The shiny teeth that sparkle, da-da-da-da-da-da. It's so good. It's so catchy. It's so fun. It's why I like Chip Skylark. because it's just catchy. I couldn't think of another song. There's plenty that are good, but goddamn, Shiny Teeth and Me, I still look that up. You think I'm gonna say one of the excellent songs from My Little Pony? No, I'm not going to. Because I like Shiny Teeth and Me. There are musical cartoons out there that I've watched. But no. I choose shiny teeth and me. We found the answer from Twiins. The One Piece was the power of friendship all along. It's going to be. It's going to be. They're gonna find finally some big treasure chest, and it's just gonna be a picture of what's his name and his crew. Luffy's crew is the treasure. And I'm right. I am right. I don't need to watch that show. I already know how it's gonna end. Oh, the Brain song from Billy and Mandy. That voiced, sung by Voltaire himself. That is a pretty good one. My Little Pony does have some bangers. Listen, I admit it, but I just like shiny teeth and me. From D Pickle. What a name. Out of all the characters you've drawn, which one do you wish you could have drawn more of / is most deserving of a redesign? So, could have drawn more of. I don't think, I'm pretty happy with how much screen time any given character gets. And I can always draw more, if I'm like, I really like Sunny. I'm gonna draw more Sunny. I can. So I focused more on... Dill Pickle, is this you? That's you, oh my god! So I focused more on the is deserving of a redesign. Now, I already think there's a project I'm working on that I have some answers for already. But you don't know those designs, so you don't get to see them. But instead, focusing on the ones I've already done, I focused on my comics for this one. And I think Kami Cinderella, I don't love this silhouette. I don't like the shape of this skirt. I think the skirt specifically is, like, quite bad. I think the placement of gold and silver on her could also do some tweaking. If I were to design her, the big pink bow in the back, I feel like is also not as successful as I wish it was. So I think Kami Cinderella could easily get fixed. I think, as my first big magical girl design, fun, but not as successful as I think I could have done it if I were to do it now. Next up is a Millie, from, the Rumpelstiltskin. Millie's design, I think, works swell in grayscale, but I'm kind of unhappy with these colors, I think. I think her palette is, pallid and not doing anything all that interesting, on top of her design being quite plain. And I did design her plainly on purpose. She's a miller's daughter. That's kind of the point. But I think Millie, overall, she doesn't read too much like a magical girl, and I just don't like her colors. Rumpelstiltskin is definitely the, did I say Rapunzel earlier? I meant Rumpelstiltskin. Rumpelstiltskin definitely has the more interesting design between the two of them. So, this was my ploy for you to talk about character design, moi. So yeah, I think Millie is a little boring, and she's sort of boring by design, but that's not a good excuse. And then, funnily enough, it's Thaddeus from As the Sky Falls. Thaddeus is one of Ruth's toadies, as you all probably know, and when I made Billy and Thaddeus, I did not intend for them to be reoccurring characters. I just needed her to be flanked by a couple of goons, and so, drew a couple of goons. In hindsight, Thaddeus's hair is too similar to Enoch's, and also, I've given him this quite sad-looking eye shape, as you can see. His eyes are, pretty sad, angled, and I want to keep that consistency, and it just makes him challenging to draw. He's got hard eyes to do, at certain angles. I definitely drew him with one angle in mind, and then didn't consider the fact I would draw him again. And then Billy and Thaddeus have become reoccurring characters, and so, oopsies. I do plan on having Thaddeus alter his design slightly as we move forward. A couple of characters will change, like time will pass with As the Sky Falls. So, some changes across the cast will happen, and I think Thaddeus is the only one that needs to happen by design. So, yippee! It means that I actually get it with him. I'm not going to redesign Cinderella or Millie. But I think, of my magical girls, they're the two that would deserve it the most. She's boring, but she's still cute. She really makes up for it in having a hilarious personality. I knocked Millie's writing out of the park, if I do say so myself. Also, I think Thaddeus's color scheme is also flawed. It's because in my head, I imagined him with different colors, and then I realized that it ruined the the color theory I have going on in the story, so I had to shift to a different idea with him. So, Thaddeus is very much a happenstance of I didn't design this character, I just drew a guy and then retrospectively was like, oh shit, I fucked up. I fucked up a little bit, but I really like Thaddeus, and it's why I'm gonna still, put in the effort to, keep him looking good in the story and such. If I do say so myself, never change, Twiins. Oh, trust me, I won't. So, yeah, those are my answers. Messiah, do you have a question? Is this you raising your hand? Your little stick hand as a sprinkle? He just needs eyeliner is all. Eyeliner would be swell. I think Thaddeus definitely wears eyeliner on his off days. He just worries it would smudge running around, beating up guys and stuff. So yeah, great question. I love talking about character design. Let's also have another short bathroom break, just because, time has passed. Water has passed through us. So yeah, another small time to get a little bit of a snack or a drink. We're nearing the end of the stream. So, kids got to Messiah's keyboard again. In this brief interlude, everyone make sure you go follow Messiah on Twitch. Even if you don't watch his streams, just make number go burr, And in the meantime, time to slam more pots and pans around in the kitchen, yeah. And in the meantime, while I'm gone, you can feel free to discuss some of my designs as well. Which ones do you think could use a redesign? I get lots of compliments from you guys, and I appreciate that. You should do that more. But for just right now, talk about which designs do you think could have used a redesign from my comics. I'll be right back. But yeah, we're almost at the end of the Q&A, so don't get yourself a huge snack, or do, I guess. Just be aware that we're getting close to the end. And I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. You gotta go back to complimenting me. It's the rule. You have to say nice things about me. I'm about to get the largest snack, bro. While I'm gone, you all talk about me. Listen, it's the perfect solution to keep you all engaged. Gotta save room in my tummy. Today's buy one, get one classic tostada. Oh, that's wow. What a deal. Gotta head out. Well, thanks for being here, Pyra. I appreciate it. Make smart choices. Twiins is beautiful and gorgeous. You don't mean that. You liar. Fuck you. No. I was like, the idea of saying compliment me and then getting compliments and then being like way too hard about like, stop. Nice skin. Thanks a million, Messiah. Twiins, you are pretty is my go-to compliment. I'm glad. I'm very pretty. I don't think any of your characters need redesigns per se, but I do go especially feral for outfit changes. Give me casual Bronica, damn it. I think casual Bronica, the closest you get to casual outfits for the magical girls are the like pre-chapter like bit where they get, you know, they become a magical girl, where you see them in casual clothes, you know, before they get their magical girl outfits. So, you know, you at least get that. And I try to tell a little bit about a personality when I do those outfits as well. I'd have to really look at all of them to know which ones I really like and would want to see some changes on. That's, you know, fair. But let's mosey on forward to the next question. This is from Suryo. Ooh, Suryo Kuhai. I'm sorry I read that wrong. I really am. Congratulations on 30k sub on the milestone. Thank you. I'm a little late to ask, but they are one of the last ones to ask. Wanted to ask, are you planning to do more Pokemon content like ranking videos that are outside the gym leaders? Or redesign some of the Pokemon characters. I enjoyed your commentary. I think your videos are very cool to watch. Have a nice and wonderful day. Thank you! What a swell comment. Yes, I'm absolutely planning on. I want to rank more than just the gym leaders. My next ranking actually might be of villains, because that sounds fun. I have a video I'm working on just talking about character designs in Pokemon, and I want to do more of that. I like talking about Pokemon and Pokemon designs, and I want to do more. And I want to make designs and draw designs and do redesigns. So yes, if you like Project Sekai content and if you like Pokemon content, subscribe to Twiins Inc. because that's what I do. Alongside general art shit. So, you know, there's a niche in there. Art related niche. But yes, all the way around. So stick around. And I hope you enjoy what I've got cooking. Perhaps it's related to the millions of projects I've mentioned. Yeah, villain ranking. And it's gonna be tough because it's goddamn a million villains. It's gonna be the main villain and also their admins. And I think I'm gonna do both versions. Like original Archie versus, you know, remake Archie. Those are ludicrously different designs. And so I gotta talk about both of them, right? Like, they're too different to ignore. So yeah, it's gonna be, so goddamn much, but, Thank you, Allison. Thank you for the money. For 17 months, goddamn. Just remembered I could do that. Well, that was the gift that plays. That's from, Higurashi when they cry. That's a gif from Higurashi. It's a character like yelling while shaking a ladder. I saw that gif because Allison has watched Higurashi. And she was like, Twiins, look at this. And I looked it up and it was so special. It made me laugh for like 10 minutes straight. And I was like, I want to make that a gif for me. And I did. So you all need to subscribe so you get to see the funny gif. Also, it was quiet, but I go, that's the audio that plays. when that goes. So subscriptions are really fun, I think. Cause that gif makes me laugh. Everyone should, and read it, and play it. Yeah, Allison's #1 Higurashi fan, so do, you know, engage with Higurashi. And that's right, good moderator, Allison. You can subscribe with a Prime membership. So if you've got Amazon Prime, then you get a subscription, and it costs you nothing, but it supports your favorite streamer. So there you go. Costs you nothing more. Like you are already paying for Amazon. You know. Dang, no ranking the goofy plasma grunt fits. Yeah, I know. That's alright. We all know they're goofy. Goofy and don't deserve rights. But yeah, and now actually, here it is, the final question. What an excellent final question. I had to save this one for last. Because it's such a good, like, good one to end off on. It's from The Color in Your Eyes. What a cool name, by the way. What are your goals for 2026? That's a great question. Because I've got a lot. My goals. I want to finish book 1 of As the Sky Falls. I would say we're about halfway through. And I want to finish book 2 of Grim Magic. So that would be 3 more chapters in Grim Magic, because each book is 5 chapters. Great name, great question. For real. Cool user, like, picture, like, too. Like, goddamn. The color in your eyes. What are you doing here? You're way cooler than me. It's free if you don't look at your bank account. Exactly. So yeah, those are the 2 big ones. I want to finish, those milestones for my comics, and I'm going to adjust how I approach them. I think alternating between Grim Magic and As the Sky Falls is not the best way to do it. I think I want to focus on one at a time. So once I do finish those, I'm going to focus on As the Sky Falls, while in the background, still working on Grim Magic. And it just means you will all, you know, we got a whole bunch of As the Sky Falls, and then you get a whole bunch of Grim Magic, instead of alternating between them, you know, oh, this month it's this, and then after a couple months, okay, now it's that, you know. So just sort of changing how you all get to experience the story, so it's a little bit better, more cohesive. So yeah, there's that. I want to make more music, and actually, this is a great time. This is a soft launch. I'm going to make an official announcement video for this eventually. I'm going to make another channel for my music. I'm going to, all the, like, songs I've done, all my original songs, I'm going to unlist them eventually, which means if they're in a playlist, you can still see them. Easy peasy. So you don't need to worry about, like, oh, but I put that in my Bangarang playlist. Yeah, and it'll still be there. And then I'm going to re-upload them to a channel dedicated to music, because I think it is better. Because when I go to look at my own channel, looking for something funny to watch, I have to scroll past my music. And if someone's only subscribing for the music, then they have to scroll past all those, you know, discussions and videos and stuff. And I think it's just the smartest way to do it. I might also make a channel for funny gameplay compilations? Question mark? I don't know. But for sure, I want to make a music dedicated channel. So I guess that's my goal in 2026. Make that actually happen. Make more music. Cause I do like making music. And I think there are more goals. There's always more goals. Do more, as always. And now that with my schedule with work, how it is easier to do more, to upload more. You all might have noticed that I've uploaded, it's been like 2 months where I've uploaded weekly, and I'm gonna break that streak this week. I'm not gonna have a video this weekend. But yeah, I wanna upload more regularly. And also, I want to zero in on what I make. You know, I've been sort of in the wind since I stopped being dedicated to Ruby, and I finally figured out what I like talking about, what I want to talk about. So, like, we've already discussed how I make videos about Project Sekai and Pokemon, but generally, it's actually art. I want to make more art-focused videos. And I'm already working towards that, and which is swell. It means I'm already heading towards these goals. Twiins with the breakneck pace. Hint, it's Project Sekai, yeah. My YouTube channel is large, and now I need to perform mitosis to separate the different things I do. Exactly. So yeah, so then main Twiins Inc. is for art, and then, you know, looking at it through Pokemon and Project Sekai. And then I'll have probably like Twiins music with too many eyes for music, and then Twiins Plaays as my VOD channel. So yeah, I think those are the big things, is finish some important arcs
in my comics, and as always, you know, bigger, better, faster, more. With my YouTubes. I like streaming. I've been really enjoying these long streams I've been doing. Because, you know, I've not too recently, but I've changed from Twiins Muse Inc. I'm stealing that. Stereotype Gamer, actually, genuinely. I like that. That's cute. I like Twiins Muse Inc. I think that's really swell. If I may, please use that as a title for a channel. I think that's really good. Twiins Inc. Incorporated, yeah. Yay! I'm glad. I knew you guys. I knew you guys would have a better idea than me. Need to trademark this now. What was I saying? Oh yeah, these longer streams. Previously, I tried to prioritize streaming more often throughout the week. More streams, after work. So they were shorter streams. And I feel like I was plateaued. Like, I'm streaming so often, and I was so tired all the time because of it. Because you come home from work, and then you do more work. And I felt like I just wasn't even seeing any returns for these, you know, I was streaming more, but I wasn't seeing any sort of meaningful growth. And what was really the thing that actually caught me, because, you know, growth is important, as always, as a content creator. But moreover, Critter was doing some shorts for me for a little bit there, and those were fun. But, you know, I wanted to get her more clips, you know, more moments to make shorts of, because they were so much fun, and I'm like, cool, yeah, let's do more. And I was looking at my content, and I was scrolling past a sea of me just talking. Of me giving some vague opinions about things. And I like chit-chatting with you guys. Chatting streams do well. The VODs don't, but that's okay. I don't really... the VODs are there just for the posterity of it. I'll do the shorts if you guessed voice in my abridged series. For real, though. That was funny. I think that's my favorite. That's my Critter video of the year. And it wasn't because I was in it. The parts with Suzuka and protagonist girl, like, what's a centaur? She was just funny. It was way funny. Way past funny. Exactly what I wanted for her to make. Anyway, what the fuck was I saying? Oh yeah, but I switched, I'm not doing anything worthwhile. No wonder my numbers aren't going up. I'm streaming a lot, but I'm not doing anything. I just am on screen, talking sometimes. And these longer videos streams where I'm actually playing a video game and having fun with chat, I feel like they've been doing better because I've been doing better. There are better streams. So I definitely want to keep that momentum going because I've been having so much fun streaming and playing video games. Even when I have massive whiny baby crash out tantrums over a difficult puzzle in Zelda. It's like, okay, but I'm having so much fun getting to experience Zelda with chat. I think I've played goddamn every Zelda game with you guys. And I want to keep that going. So yeah. This is a great question, because I so rarely look forward like this. I'm always planning, like, what I'm doing, but not like what are my goals? And it's kind of nice to have some goals set out. Long-term goals, too. That's really fun. As long as I finish both of my chapters, or both of my books, by December of next year, I'm succeeding. And I think I can absolutely do that. That's another thing. I want to upload more comics more often, which is doable, again, with my schedule with work. I think my production on comics has been impressive. I must say. I am impressed with myself, but it's still slower than I would like it to be. And I want to fix that. I want to upload comics more regularly. You can get the monthly updates on Patreon, but for non-patrons, you know, you're just in the dark for like 5 months, and then I upload a chapter and it's like 26 pages, and I'm like, I feel like I can do this quicker. I want to do this more efficiently, and so I believe in myself. Those are the big ones. Finishing my books,
are huge, and I believe. I need you to play the Oracle games and explode. I love them, but Jesus Christ. Well, once I find a way to do it, that's the problem. I'd love to at least gander at the Oracle games, but they're on the goddamn Game Boy, aren't they? That sounds hard to stream. I'm sure I could figure it out, but Twiins, you are so impressive. It's true. Listen, I gotta be my own #1 fan. They're on NSO. They're on NSO. Well then, hey, maybe I'll play the Oracle games. Wouldn't it be funny if I played the Oracle games on stream before I played goddamn like Breath of the Wild? In case I missed the end of stream because I'm feeding the cats, bye. You're all so cool. We are nearing the end of the stream. So, goddamn, 3.5 hours of me jabberjawing at you guys. I mean, you all gave me such good questions. They required meaty answers. Editing this is gonna be a goddamn nightmare. I promised to edit this down to be succinct, and how the fuck do I do that? Shit, dude, being a YouTuber is hard. My least favorite part about being a YouTuber is the editing. I gotta be honest. If I could hire an editor, I would. But I just don't think I make enough money to do that. So, and if I were, I would think I would want to hire somebody to make shorts. Critter, she became busy, and I couldn't just keep making shorts for me for free. But, I think having someone to make shorts, would be really swell. Because I thought about it. I've tried, like, writing out, like, a script for shorts, and I'm like, if I'm gonna put this much thought and effort into something, I'm not gonna make it a short, I'm gonna make it a full video. So, yeah. Shorts are the way to go if I want to get an editor, I think. I just started editing videos for work, and I already feel that. Yeah. It's some people's passion. It's why Critter is able to make videos so quickly. Because Critter likes editing. It's what she wanted to be when she grew up, and she's doing it. Yippee! Glad for her. I didn't want to be an editor, and annoyingly, it's a huge part of being a YouTuber. I just want to draw pretty pictures. Draw pretty pictures and talk into my microphone sometimes. But yeah, I think that do be, what a weird hiccup that just was. Well, I do think that do be the end of the stream. Thanks for being here, guys. I tried editing at the start of the year. Didn't last like a minute. Yeah, it's hard. I think it can be worthwhile. You know, a worthwhile thing to learn, but it's hard, arduous, annoying. Nice to see the regulars here today. I know, right? It feels like, I mean, I streamed for so long. Everyone got the chance to wander in and out. So pretty dang swell. And thanks a million for being here, guys. Thank you, times 30,000. Genuinely, I couldn't have done it without all you. You guys make big number go burr. And you all especially. I think the oh my god, Messiah! Wowie wow, Willikers. What a sweetie pie. Everyone clap for Messiah. Gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Everyone say thank you, Messiah. And now, in celebration, you can all use your tier 1 emotes. That are super fun. Look at that. Oh, wowee. It's not 30k, but it's a start. We'll wait until Messiah gifts 30k subscriptions. What a sweetie Petey. Everyone, make sure you do what I said, and wow, it looks hideous seeing all the emotes clumped together like that, doesn't it? Dill pickle. I forgot I have the tea sipping one. But, yeah, everyone go follow Messiah. Go to his Twitch channel, click on him. Click on him right now. And hit follow. And watch his streams. When he streams a game he likes, he's actually funny. No, go away. Go forward. Don't let him be a tsundere about it. We have to wait until the hype train ends. So, you've got me for another 2.5 minutes. Well, I gotta find something to cheer, to jabberjaw about. But Messiah, We're your online friends. Exactly. Hype train, woo woo. Everyone all aboard. Chugga chugga. What are some games you'd all like me to play? You know, I got games I'd like to play with you guys. I've got stuff on my list of things to do, but what kind of games do you like watching me play? Knowing you guys, you all be like, I like watching you play anything. I feel like so often that's the answer. But yeah, are there any, like, any requests? Any kind of things you think would be real dang nifty? Cause I does is gots to know WarioWare. I don't know how good WarioWare is as a streamable. I like Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing was a lot of fun, and with the update happening in January, we might have to go back to that. I like twins being twins. See, yeah, because I worry that WarioWare ends up being like sweaty gamer mode hours. Thanks, Allison. Thanks for the bits. Oh, look at him. Look at those silly little bits spinning around. Yeah, I feel like WarioWare is sweaty gamer hours, where it's like, how much can I really add to the enjoyment of it? But I don't know. Maybe it's actually really swell. That's the big thing. If it's something that it's hard for me to talk over, I struggle to feel like it's, I don't know, I worry about it. It's kind of like why I haven't engaged with, Slay the Princess, even though I know it's good. Everyone says it's good, and they're right. It's so narrator heavy, and I just worry that it's like, what am I adding to the table then? I don't want to talk over the narrator. That's a whole point of it. But people are like, play it, I want to see it, and so it's like, well, but how much of it am I really adding to it if it's mostly me sitting there listening to the narrator? A conversation with him. I guess you're right. Pokemon fan games? I don't know. I'm pretty well fed. It do be true. Fan games are hard, because I feel like a lot of them, I gotta be honest, they try too hard. They're a little too edgy. Even if they're really fun. Also, they tend to be pretty hard. Fan games tend to lean more towards a more hardcore audience, and I worry that I'd just be a whiny crybaby. And not be good enough for them. More visual novels so Twins can practice her voice work. I do like doing the voice work. I like reading the fun voices. It's the duality of it. There's me reacting to a game, and those are fun. And it's me, you know, doing voice work reading a game, and that's also fun. And they're just different types of fun. You know what? Date Everything? I don't know. From what I've seen from Date Everything, I feel like it's actually quite boring to stream. But maybe it's because I think if I were to engage with Date Everything, I would talk about the designs and how much I actually don't like them that much. But I don't know. I'll have to think about it. Henry Stickmin? I know too much about Henry Stickmin, unfortunately. The fun part is seeing the surprise of people go, ha ha ha, that's so wacky. I know it all. So, I just don't think it would work, unfortunately. Just Dance, but maybe not. I wouldn't hate Just Dance. But I don't know what the heck it's on. So I don't know if I even have a console that could play it. Maybe Stardew. It's so slow. I don't know. Maybe I'd test the waters with a worse game, parentheses, Harvest Moon first. It's on the Switch. Well, there you go. I unlocked this emote. Wow. It's T. But you know what? I really like playing with you guys scary games. I want to play more scary games with you guys. I want to become scary game extraordinaire and play them on stream, because I think that's really, really fun. So, Harvest Moon Slander. Listen, I love Harvest Moon. But I am willing to recognize it's worse than Stardew Valley. Every single one of them. And I cherish Harvest Moon and Story of Seasons and Rune Factory, and Stardew Valley reigns as the supreme ruler of that type of game. It's just the truth. I slander, but it is the truth. You can't sue me for defamation. Oh no, scary, I know, yeah. Scary games might skip those. But they're so fun with you guys. That's the thing, I've really enjoyed all the scary games that I play with you guys, so Excited for, yeah, Fields of Mystery to be done, for real. I was playing it so much, and then it's like, we won't finish until next year. And it's like, alright, I'll see you next year then. So, I think we got some great stuff lined up for us. Fun, cool times with chat. But, for real, I think I got to wrap up. Thanks for being here, and thanks a million for Allison for subscribing, and for Messiah for the gifted subs. What a swell guy. And thank you all, even if you didn't even say anything in chat, if you just lurked, if you chit-chatted, if you were here at all, thank you. I really do appreciate it. I feel like it's hard to make that super clear, because I say it pretty often, but for real, I appreciate you guys. I can't believe there's this many of you. And I'm glad you're here. You could be anywhere. You could be doing anything, and you chose to spend your afternoon here with me? That's what matters more than anything else, is time. Time is so precious in my eyes. I don't mind spending my money on people. What I mind is spending time with them. If I choose to spend time with you, that's huge praise. And you all choose to spend time here with me, that's special. So yeah, goodbye, I guess. Thanks a million. And I'll see you when I get to 50,000 subscribers. So you better get that happening fast if you want stream to keep going. If you want to see me continue to play Pokemon and Zelda. Oh yeah. Goodbye. Stream is ending. Eat your vegetables, drink your water, make smart enough choices. And that's it. Stream over. Goodbye.